Hey guys, how you going? Welcome to another stream. Whoop. Where is that sound coming from? That should not be there. Oh, I see what's happening here. Oh, silly me. I didn't mute the old YouTubes. How are we going all today? I think we got a bumper stream today. I'm really excited by it. It is one of my favorite topics. So hopefully we can all enjoy. You may or may not have noticed, depending on exactly how astute you are, that I realized that I scheduled it in for the wrong time. So we quickly moved up half an hour. So might have thrown some people off, but maybe not. So we'll see. I'll just get my windows sorted because once again, I was playing around with memes and I lost track of time. So the first thing is that we had a lot of early birds in today. I think it was actually a gentleman, I believe, by the name of Lefty, who was here first, about 4 hours early, something like that. Also, Thirsty Rabbit was here 3 hours, and Lyndon, I believe, was the next one in. So, in light of there being multiple people here early, comments get timed away and all that. I just think that everyone here is winning.
Winning. Are you bipolar? I'm bi winning. Win here, win there, win everywhere. Win.
So well done to all you guys. You get all the points. All the Gryffindor points and all that. So good job. And then we had Xavier Rice. Welcome to the stream, Xavier. And Rumble's Fish Room. HC Aqua. G'day, Jesse. Thanks. Yeah, I thought you might appreciate this topic today. We do have similar tastes in fish after all, and it's one of my favorite topics. So g'day, Sheps Aquatics. Welcome to another stream. Cody's son as well. Sir Pronalot. You may get de-wrenched for that hashtag, but, let's just say that maybe KG Tropicals gets another super chat tomorrow if you want to play the hashtag game, so we can certainly dance that way. That's fine. Speaking of dancing, we had Dan's Disco. How are you, Dan? Formerly Dan White. And yes, I did update you on the terrarium moss situation. So that's a video to come, and I'm really excited about that one. G'day, me, Liz AFK Richardson. Welcome to another stream. And Aquarium Thoughts, Mr. Cuddly Poops. That's a new name. Welcome to the stream. Fishy Fun 57. How are you? Watching more Wobbly Boost. Well, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm sure we can attempt to entertain to that sort of level, I guess, not knowing who that is. Aquamate, how are you, Josh? Good to have you here as well. And Marin and Ryan. Oh, look, we got a full house in today. All my favorite people, except that one specific person, which is watching the replay right now. You know who I'm talking to. You, that one, you just there. You're my favorite, who isn't here live right now. So I think that's covered all the boxes there, and I've dodged that bullet. So yeah, we got a few little items first, but I really think we're going to get a good bit of a run out of this topic here. So I don't want to dilly-dally too much. However, Melissa, that particular fish got on the list about 6 minutes ago. I was just going along feeding my fish, and I realized, oh my golly gosh, I forgot a pretty important dwarf cichlid, that is. So yeah, they are on the list. They just made it. Lucky I wasn't feeling more lazy, because I could have quite easily not done the old rush job, tried to put something together, but we got there. So they're on the list. Thanks, Aquamate. Appreciate that. Speaking of likes and all of that, also, before I ramble too much, I better make sure that you can actually hear me. So let me know if you can hear me loud and or clear. Otherwise, I've got my buttons here. I can attempt to fix anything that we have going on. Audio is always a work in progress, because it's one of those things that you can't do really in practice. So we have to do it live. So I just don't want a situation where I realize halfway through the stream again. So hopefully you can hear me and all good. So Prawn, I got 30 shrimp, best part of shipment, 72-hour heat bags on my aching back. Nice. Hopefully you were peer pressured into making a video on said shrimp. I noticed, is the picture meh because I'm in it or not? I'll wait and see. Otherwise, let me know some specifics. Yeah, I noticed Fishy Fun was playing around with some streams, so we might be able to have a bit of another stream to keep in touch with. So that's good. Yeah, that's good, Melissa. I noticed that where I had it before, I was really quiet when anybody else joined. So hopefully this week will be more even when other people join, if other people join. So that's the theory behind that. We might be a little bit louder than usual, so we'll see. Oh, good. Lucky I didn't play around with the exposure. That's good, Acclimate. All right, so we cannot get started on the topic without what else have we got here? Without this. Where is it? Once again, we're hitting milestones. I can't believe it. And we'll put the music back. Whoop. We'll put the music on here so we can just celebrate quietly. So, cannot believe it. We cracked 900 people. That's amazing. Especially considering, like, for those of you that are here now, and I certainly appreciate you, no matter what time you joined up. But for a little bit of context, I think it was just before Christmas. I was like 20 subscribers or something like that. So massive journey. There's been some insane things that I couldn't even believe. I think I won't go too in deep now because I want to do something, I think, for the 1,000. But yeah, just some crazy stuff that I want to talk about, and we might do that in video form just so everybody else can make it. But yeah, insane. So 900 strong, in shock. Certainly appreciate all of you, and I'm trying to think of an appropriate way to give back. So that's awesome. Hopefully we can keep improving, keep going onwards and upwards from here, and yeah, we'll see where we can take it. So I'm enjoying things, loving pumping out content, and all of this recent sort of spiking has spurred me on. I'm more energetic than ever about making videos. I've got like 4 or 5 in the queue ready to go, and there's not enough days for me to release release the amount of videos I'm making per day, because I'm just so hyped about this. So that's awesome. But we don't need to sit here basking in that all day. So we do have a little bit of a topic to jump into too. So let's just bring the vibe back down a bit and we'll get a bit more serious. Alrighty. John Johnson is in the house. The constant aquarist. I'm all over the shop here. It's not in any chronological order, but it's good to have you both. Nath Fishboy, how are you? Good to see you. And good. Fishy Fun, that is so amazing. I remember 500. Yes. It seemed like for a long time there, at least like 3 or 4 weeks in a row, it lined up perfectly with the stream, which is awesome because I get to, celebrate live. And certainly I think whenever it was 100 or 200 is when I started doing streams, because I thought that might be a number where people are, enough people are around to fit the time slot that people would actually be here, and it wouldn't just be me talking to myself. So it's been really good to see everything develop and try and put together some good stuff for you all. So speaking of that, I've done a heap of homework here. I've got a big old Word document. It's like 2,000 words, and it'll be longer than that when I talk about things because it's like shorthand. But we've got a lot to get into tonight with the topic. So think we'll go. Yeah, I'm going to just filter in more memes as we go. I've got plenty loaded up here. I don't know if I want to sort of spill the beans early on a lot of these, but we're just sprinkling in memes like the Salt Bay, just like this. You can have one bonus one there, Melissa, because I appreciate the appreciation of the memeage. So Aquamate and Melissa are cooking. All good. No need to be concerned. There'll be no non-family appropriate content. So chuck it up on the TV. Let the whole family enjoy. The kids conned more time out of me than expected. Oh, okay, no worries. Yeah, they tend to do that. Awesome. And yeah, Jono, we nearly, well, depending on how we go tonight, we might even be able to crack the 950, and I'll have to quickly change my change my screen live. We'll see. So I guess if you got 10 friends, round them up, or somebody quickly make 10 accounts, and we might be able to get a double celebration in afterwards. We'll see. All right. What are we thinking? Let me just run through the list here. Haven't got that. We don't need to do that yet. Intros. We've done all that. Think we're going well. Let's just do the topic, hey? Let's just do it. Yep. All right. So we're on the new screen here. The topic. Fun topic. Dwarf cichlids. Every single one, barring one on this list, is plant safe, which is a big bonus in my fish room, fish keeping hobby, whatever you want to call it. And that's pretty much the first one. They may well be, but it just kind of depends. They're like a little bit bigger than the rest of them on the list, but they're my bucket list kind of cichlid to keep. I've only ever seen them in real life once at an aquarium store in Richmond, who sort of caters in that sort of niche things. It's not in any favorite order, like it's not counting down from 10. Also, I think I actually snuck in 12 on this list because who can keep it to 10? I mean, let's be honest. So yes, I should have picked him up on the day. I've never ever seen him since. But the first one on the list, let me know if you've heard of these before. This is the Acara Adokita Zebra Acara. Now, these are a cool fish. The photo is a bit average, to be honest. It's really hard to get a great photo of these on the old Google machine. So obviously they're rare sort of everywhere, but these are a cool fish. Have a look at them. Like, they got the stripes that I like in the convicts. You got your blues and your oranges. I really like these fish where you sort of got to get them on a good day for them to be really colored up and everything like that. So yeah, so this is a fish that I will keep before I end up in a glass box of my own underneath the soil. So I've done well then, Jesse. If I've stumped you, I've found one off the bat that you haven't heard of. So yeah, Acara Adokita. There are a bunch of little Acaras and things that people may not be aware of, and it's a bit of a wormhole you can get into. So since oh yeah, cool, no worries. Jake, how did your Michelings go? Micheling is the German word for mixed breed. Yeah, I did come across that in my little bit of research. The Michelings went awesome. Somebody pulled me up, and I'm always appreciative of this, actually, because I had no idea. And maybe I was talking with Prawny earlier, and maybe it's one of those things that I should know about. But somebody said CO2 with Michelings, and then a shocked face, and I was like, is that not a thing? Like, and anyway, I did a bit of research, just to make sure, fact check and all that. And yeah, apparently if you put CO2 with most Caridina shrimp, it severely slows down their breeding. So if you're out there, you're keeping Caridina shrimp, and you're like me and you haven't stumbled across this information, yeah, maybe don't do the old CO2 with your Caridinas. Might be an obvious thing, but yeah, I'd never kind of stumbled across that myself. So pulled the CO2 out, just put it in the tank next door, which is fine, because I've got another scape starting there. So yeah, other than that, they're doing really well, and I've just sat by the tank watching them. It was quite funny. All the fish in here, like stingrays, pea puffers, some really cool fish. It's getting really hard to decide which tank to sit in front of, because yeah, realistically, I can't sit in front of them all day. So I got to pick a couple to sort of give the old eyeball time to. And yeah, today the Michelin certainly got it. So yeah, I was really interested in that. So yeah, that was an absolute steal. And yeah, I wasn't lying or anything like that. Yeah, I didn't realize that they were going to hook me up with like the mug and shirt and hat and all that stuff and the food. So that was really cool. Yeah, I didn't even realize all the stuff that came around involved in that. So it was literally just, this is a bargain. Hey, by the way, I'm going to do a video about it. Can you give me the information? And that's how it happened. So if anyone is astute out there and can link that video, that would be really awesome in case people haven't caught it. So thanks, Mr. Cuddly Pops. Yeah, that is a really good fish, and I certainly wanted to open with this one, getting back on to the topic, the Acara Atakita. All right, so I've got a bunch of information here because a lot of us haven't potentially heard of this fish. And cool. G'day, Blackie, as well. Thanks for coming by. And Marty is a ledge, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He wants to be careful because I might be hitting him up every second day for shrimp and all that stuff. But I'll certainly be keeping an eye on the auctions from now on, that's for sure. Looks like I'll have a ton. I'll have to confiscate those shrimp. Well, look, you might have had a chance, but you tried to get a certain hashtag trending, and who knows what will happen now. We can't be sure. So anyway, this is the commonly referred to as the zebra Acara, as you can see. Why? Black stripes. They come from Brazil, and what you want to do is keep these guys in low light conditions. They come from super low pH in the world, in the natural environment, as low as 4 or 3.0, in fact, which is really quite crazy to think how water can even get that acidic. But in captivity, you can keep them between 4 to 5, but yeah, in the wild, it can go way down to 3. Even maintaining a pH as low as 4 to 5 is really difficult. So it's not by any means a beginner cichlid or anything like that. This isn't your kid's first cichlid, so don't be doing that. But they survive. They live in temperatures between 22 to 28 Celsius, 72 to 84 Fahrenheit, and yeah, pretty crazy. You want to keep, like, they get quite chunky. Do I have a size here? I should, but like the tank size, you need to keep them in like a 4 foot, 90 centimeters by 40, which is like 3 foot. Did I just say 4 foot? I meant 3 by 18 inch, something like that, which is, I always get confused about this. I shouldn't even take a stab in the dark, but I think that's a 40 breeder. I'm not sure, but good candidate for a pair. We've had a few others roll in here too, which is really great to see. The one yesterday, Blackie, unboxing 60 Michelin shrimp. Please, that would be great. 220 gig cleared off the lap. No worries. That's good effort. And yeah, it's insanely low pH. There you go, Prawny. Instantly, I've forgotten everything else. Hey, Ed, thanks for coming by. I appreciate you making it for the stream too. Good to see you. What else have we got here? In terms of food, they are a predator. Usually they eat like small crustaceans. A lot of these dwarf cichlids are predators feeding on crustaceans and worms and insects and that sort of thing. But yeah, small meals like of worms, brine shrimp, daphnia, that sort of thing will do well here. You don't want to give them too much easy protein because they can sometimes bloat up. But yeah, Jesse, I've only ever seen them once in real life, and it was just a really bad time. I had no spare tanks, and I was already getting a few other things. So I was like, in hindsight, I would have picked them up if I knew that I would never see them again in a store, but they're on the bucket list. The next time I see them, I'll be getting them for sure. The male has distinctive black and white stripe markings. You can see females are more of a uniform pink, but they can get a dark stripe when breeding or stressed. And this here is a male. He has the elongated fins that you sometimes see in like other American cichlids and stuff like that. So that's the first one on the list. Thanks, Blackie. Awesome. I don't know what's going on here. And yeah, the shrimp were a bargain. $1.70 each. Couldn't believe it. Alrighty. Let's move on. What do we got next? The next one is another type of Acara. Let's get rid of you. We'll bring up this one. I think probably some people out there know about this. I think Max S was talking about this last week. Golden Dwarf Cichlid, Nana Acara Anomala. These guys are from Guyana to, it's spelled like surname, but I think it's Suriname. And these guys come from like flooded grasslands, quite a small species, males like 3 inches, the sort of 7.5 centimeter mark, females 1.5. These guys like a bit of like flat driftwood as a spawning site, but if you have nothing else, like a terracotta pot or something like that will do. These are cooler temperature characters, 22 to 25 Celsius, 72 to 77 Fahrenheit. Once again, like a lot of these guys, you want to keep the sort of acidic water 6 to 7.5 though for these, not as extreme as the last candidates. Also, a micropredator, worms, insects, brine shrimp, and that sort of thing will do well here. They'll readily take dry foods, and like a normal. I hate the term as well, but cichlid pellets should be fine as a staple, and try to give them a good combo of veg and protein. Super peaceful characters, these ones. And another cool thing you can do with these, yeah, thanks, John, appreciate that, is that you can put them as a single pair, or you can put them as a like a harem. You can put multiple females with one male, and they'll do quite well too. So that's number 2 on the list. I'll just check in and make sure that I haven't missed anything in the meantime. Yeah, AFK is really great education tool as well. So Bronny's chucked a link down for that. So excuse me. So yeah, it's great site as well. Cool. Next one we'll move through. Oh, this one's a cool one as well. At first glance, you might think that one of these is the golden dwarf cichlid, so I've just left that picture up there for this purpose, but this is the Acara curviceps. This is kind of the main ones that we'll see at shops, but they actually come in 2 different varieties. That's the second kind. That happens naturally. So they're also called flag acaras, smiling acaras, sheep's head acaras, and blunt-headed cichlids. Didn't mute your dab. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just got enough to deal with at the moment. So these guys come from Brazil and the Amazon, and different areas will result in these different colors here. So they come from really clear, transparent water, so you don't have to worry about tannins and all that for these guys. 2 inches is the maximum size for these, like a little stocky sort of number. Once again, they can go a bit cooler as well, 20 to 28 degrees Celsius, 72 to 84 Fahrenheit, and pretty much any pH they'll handle, 4.5 to 7.5. You can just do anything in that area. These guys are a biparental substrate spawner, so you don't have to worry about like pulling out the male or the female afterwards. So yeah, I definitely started with the Fahrenheit. I'm not sure if I got all the way with it, but we'll manage that. I can look at my little cheat sheet here, no worries. So yeah, they're a really cool one, and they're super peaceful. You can just sort of keep them in a community and all that, no worries at all. And yeah. Oh, I didn't do a dad joke this week. I'll see if I can think of one while I talk. That'll make you have to stay around as well, which will be handy. Yeah, so they're foragers, algae, detritus, small insects, and that sort of thing. So once again, don't be just throwing bloodworms in for bloodworms' sake. They'll appreciate a bit of greens in the diet as well. So I just wanted to put both of the varieties in here because I wasn't sure if anyone had ever really seen the one at the bottom, because I've kept the one at the top, but yeah, I didn't even realize that naturally they have sort of 2 color morphs, which is kind of cool. And I have a pair of these next ones too. These I couldn't leave off the list because they're fast becoming one of my favorites. I've got one. Well, I should read this before I read it out, knowing you, JB. But let's see. Oh, that's pretty good. All right, I'll read that out loud. I've got one. Why do ducks have feathers on their butt? To hide their butt quacks. Very good. Even my kids would enjoy that one, I think. Nice. Very good. And yeah, Melissa, you haven't made a mistake at all putting Jesse in there, even though he is not an Australian fish keeper. I think he's an honorary Australian, and the amount of knowledge he has certainly warrants an ad. He'll help everyone, no doubt. So yeah, Apistogramma Panderer. These guys are Peruvian. They inhabit slow-moving water, backwaters, and creeks. And important to know is in the creeks they live, heaps of fallen leaves collect. So these guys will certainly appreciate your Indian almond leaves, oak leaves, all of those sort of leaf litter options that we have that are safe for fish. Males will get about 7.5 centimeters, which that's what the Google machine tells me. I think that's a bit of an overestimation there. I don't think they get that big. Females 5.5. Temperature 22 to 29 again. pH 4 to 6.5. It's got here. So yeah, just under 7. That'll be pretty good. Do I have fry those? I've had them have eggs twice, but both times I tried to risk it for the biscuit, and I didn't pull out the male. And yeah, I think she just panic ate them one time when he swam by too fast or something like that. So yeah, it's one of those things. I like to let him go 3 to 5 times, and see how we go. If not, I'll artificially raise them. But Apistogrammas are really difficult to artificially raise. They just seem to do a lot better if you can keep at least one parent with them. So yeah, they're not like other American cichlids where you can easily pull the plate, do the old methylene blue treatment. And I think it's got to do with, this is kind of interesting. We can talk about this now. If I can get the thing right. Oh, I can't. I'm messing with everything else. All right. So see how this yellow and black one, by the way, that's the female. The blue one above that is the male. See how she's got her fins pointed down, and you'll find this in Apistogrammas a lot as well. The females will have really dark fins underneath their bodies, and that's because they act as kind of like air traffic controllers, where they'll direct the fry around, and you'll actually notice them sort of direct them, and the babies will follow whatever direction those fins are going in. So that's what I think plays a big part in why artificially raising the fry doesn't do a great job, because over years and years and years they have evolved to read these signals immediately from the female or the mother. So for that reason, I think it's really hard to actually get the fry to eat the food until the mum has showed them, this way to food. So that's my opinion anyway. People may or may not disagree, but that's why I've always really tried to keep at least one parent in. Damien is here as well. Hey, Damien, thanks for swinging by the stream. I appreciate that. And yeah, Mr. Cuddly Poops, they are certainly little gems. A lot of these apistos that we'll talk about today, you can have sneaker males, which are kind of like males who are not the most dominant. Maybe they're a bit smarter than the others, but they just certainly lack the brawn, and they'll disguise themselves as females just so they don't get beaten up. But with these guys, they're very sexually dimorphic. You can tell quite easily once they reach a certain age which one's which. And yeah, I'm certainly appreciative of that in these Apistogrammas, that's for sure. Nice. Cool. Let's see what's next. Oh, did I cover off all my little notes here? Once again, males, blah blah blah. Substrate spawner. Oh, this one, the female will care for them. So yeah, as I was sort of saying, it's a good idea usually to take the males out just for their safety more so than anything else, because they sometimes will attack males to save the fry. So they get shown no love once the deed is done. Off you go do your own thing, go manage your aquariums by yourself. Your business is done here. So yeah, feel free to take the males out. It's a good idea anyway, because if you do leave them in, you're kind of on the clock, because what will happen is eventually it will come time to breed again, and at that time the juveniles are in a risk. Is that a word? Is that English? Is at risk. That's what I mean. Hey Zen, good morning, and Ugly Man's Reefing. Welcome to said stream. Enjoy the commitment from you, Ugly Man, considering we're talking Dwarf Cichlids today. But who knows, we may be able to show you something that appeals and see if we can't coax you over to the dark side. Next one on the list is, when I'm asked what my favorite fish is, often I say this one. So some of you may be able to preempt what it is. The Apistogramma Mcmaster. The title, what's it called? I make them all day. The thumbnail of this video, Apistogramma Mcmaster. These guys come from Colombia, the upper Rio Meta system, which I'm sure everyone here knows where that is. I certainly do. Males 5.5 centimeters, females 4 centimeters. They'll appreciate a bit of low lighting as well. You don't need to put the spotlights on these guys. Temperature 24 to 28, and this is the point where I forgot to put Fahrenheit, so 76 to 82 Fahrenheit. pH anything below 7. 5.5 to 7 is good. Same sort of diet again, nothing too crazy. I've found that they'll readily accept pellets and flakes and all that stuff pretty easily as well. This here is a male. Males are easy to know because they've got the more colors, and even sneaker males, if they are attempting to be disguising themselves as females, they'll still show that sort of redness on the tail, which is kind of a good indicator that that's a male with a wolf in sheep's clothing. Females will be more yellow in color and smaller, and the males have the extended rays on the fins too at the rear. Females are going to look after these guys again, and a big one with this is often in Australia you'll be sold an Apistogramma Vegeta or Vegeta, depending on how you want to read it, and they're in fact Mcmasterized. There's very little true Vegetas in Australia, so if you've bought one and you tell everyone that you've got an Apistogramma Vegeta, well, you're sadly mistaken. I'm sorry. I did the same thing originally, but yeah, certainly they're Mcmasterized. All right. Oh, Ugly Man's setting up a 35-litre freshie. Must be all the Aqua Mate, Blake's Aquatics, and all the other streams that you've been catching lately. We've managed to peer pressure you. Nice job. If you need any help with anything, let me know and we'll sort it out. Thanks, Jake. I tried my best. Alrighty. Awesome. Cool. Any of these cichlids good for nano community tank? 35 litres. I don't think any of these would be good for a 35er. You could put a single male of this next one. Before I jump to the next one, I'll just cover off one more thing, but okay, cool. All right, so the other thing I just wanted to note about these guys is you can also get a gold variety here, which you can see down the bottom, which is kind of cool too. If you're a big fanboy of the normal, it might be cool to keep both of them, or or whatever. Personally, I prefer the main ones, but one day I might keep the Viahita golds. All right, so ugly men, you could put one of these guys, just a single male Borellii in your 35 liter, I reckon, as long as you keep up with the maintenance. So these guys are Apistogramma Borellii, also known as the umbrella cichlid. Males get apparently 6.5 centimeters, which I think is a bit of an exaggeration once again, potentially in the wild, maybe not in captivity. These guys are native to southern Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina, and females get slightly smaller, 5 centimeters. These guys like to have some cover and structure. Ceramic, like flower pots, which you guys know I'm a big fan of, is a good one for these. Pipes, other things like that are really good. Naturally, if you want to set up like a biotope, you want some sandy substrate, wood, roots, branches, and all of that, creating lots of like shady areas, caves, and all that stuff. These guys can go a little bit cooler too, 20 to 26 Celsius, which is 68 to 78 Fahrenheit. They can pretty much handle any pH. Once again, 5 to 8 will be fine. Just like any fish, though, don't get them from a shop, keeping them at 8 and then drop them in your tank at home at 5. Any changes you want to make, just do it gradually over time. They're really not too fussy. These guys are quite hardy. I've kept them before, and they were all good. Didn't manage to breed them, but I might revisit that another day when I'm a bit more experienced. And Apistogrammas as well are another one that are polychromatic. So where they're depending on where they're found, they might have different colors and patterning, which is kind of cool. So I've got some more examples of that here. But so some males have vivid red streaks on their faces, other ones are more yellow, and other ones are more blue. And because of that, there's a bit of confusion in the labeling with these guys as well. So you'll notice if you look for them, they'll be like Apistogramma Borellii, Apistogramma Borellii opals, opaline Borellii, and all this stuff. But it's pretty much the same fish from a different area. But yeah, there's a lot of confusion around that, and people like specifically, I need a Borellii opal, and then they get sent one and it looks different, and all this. And there's another one called Apistogramma species steel blue, which is another Borellii as well. So on that topic, we've got these are kind of the other looks that they can have. You'll notice like the one down the bottom has quite a different face, particularly to the one at the very top, the smaller one. And yeah, they're all the same, just from a different area. Oh, thanks for the link work, Blackie. Appreciate that. Nice one, Zan. And is there a Facebook, WhatsApp, Discord group for the Blake's Aquatic community to discuss stuff? There's my Facebook page. Might be one for the future. Actually, that could be a great one, Jake. I might end up setting up something like that, because I do end up sort of having a lot of really great chats, like what I mentioned earlier about the Mishlings. And I'm sure there's plenty of great little tips and stuff that I could get as well. So yeah, it could be one for the future. I'll have a look into that. Sorry, Mr. Beginnings, do we have good access to rarer dwarf cichlids in Oz? If you did miss the beginning, David, I started with this one, which I have seen once in Australia. It's going to be behind everything, I think. Yep. I'll have to turn off the others. But it was the Acara Adokita, Zebra Acara, and they were really cool. I'll turn off the Borellii. I think we can know what they look like now. And I'll just quickly show you that one. So things like this I've seen once before in a shop. I think there are rarer things out there. You just got to keep an eye on it and be ready to pounce on it when you do see it. So certainly have some regrets about not getting it on that day. But one day I'll stumble across them again, and we might rectify that situation. Oh, that's a really good question. HC, what's the smallest cichlid species in the world? I did know this once upon a time. I thought it was an African cichlid of some kind. Maybe a bit of a shell dweller. which is also a bit of a point of discussion. I wasn't sure. I didn't Google this. I probably should have, but I'll just put it out to you guys. Do you think that shell dwellers count as dwarf cichlids or not? I wasn't really sure. I feel like they're in their own category, although they probably suit the size limits of being a dwarf cichlid. So certainly cichlids, aren't they? Nevertheless, there's no shell dwellers on this list. They're mainly, well, apart from one, they're all from South America. Enjoying the heat packs. Nice. Cool. Let's keep moving. Oh, my wife's here as well. Hey, Rach. Thanks for thanks for coming by. I was trying to think of something funny, but I couldn't. Count shellies as dwarfs. Yeah, I probably would too, but I thought I'm already struggling to get this to a 10, to a top 10. As it is, I made it a 12. And if we could include shellies, well, we'd be here all night. So, yeah. Yeah, baby one. Yeah, nice, acclimate. There's JB was looking for a dad joke before. There you go, JB. The smallest dwarf cichlid is a fry. There you go. That's a dad joke for you. All right. I think we'll keep moving. Neolamprologus multis. Yeah, they're pretty small. Hey, but I don't think it was that obvious. Anyway, we'll delve into that a bit later. Maybe do some googling unless somebody beats me to it while I'm rambling. All right, so we got to Apistogramma Borellii. Also, welcome, Max S. Good to have you. We were talking about something. Oh, we covered off on the golden dwarf cichlids, which we were chatting about last week, I think. So, unfortunately, you missed that unless you were here lurking. And cheers for the brain thinkings. All right. Next one on the list is a classic, the German blue ram. I cannot keep these guys for the life of me. Tried a bunch of times, but I'm sure somebody out there can keep these guys alive. They are in the wild, like Venezuelan and Colombian, even down to Brazil. But, I mean, they're called German blue rams. Most of them in the trade started to be bred in Germany and Europe. These guys are 35 to 40 millimeters, which is just shy of 2 inches, a stockier sort of unit. And they are called I think it's technically German, so it's Microgeophagus ramirezi. Shouldn't have even attempted that, but we did it anyway. Dutch blue ram, yeah, something like that. Microgeophagus, which is geophagus, is Latin for earth eater. Micro is small, so small earth eater. So as you can expect, they're going to be wanting to do some siftings in the sand, that sort of thing. Also, these guys, you should never add them to a new aquarium, one that's biologically immature. They're susceptible to hole in the head. So yeah, just keep them in a nice established aquarium and you'll do a lot better. They are really, really, really sensitive, particularly in my experience, the quality that we have, Ramirez, I don't know, we'll roll with whatever. These guys in Australia, I think that I've tried to keep them so many times that I can safely say that no matter where you get them from, the genetics are fairly weak. Yeah, I mean, it's possible, Max, you might know better than I, but I've tried 4 or 5 different sources and yeah, it wasn't too good. But what's up with the turkey thing? I don't know, you might have to explain that bit better, Jesse. I don't know what's going on. Oh, wild turkey. Right. Blackie is a bit susceptible to a turkey soda. I think he's getting at. You're skipping ahead in the textbook, JB. They are next. Hello, Wyoming Adventures. Thanks for swinging by the stream too. And if there is anybody else here lurking, please make yourself known. Feel free to introduce yourself. You may even make a nice acquaintance. Okay, apparently all fish to you send out nice ones. You know this, Dan. I think maybe you do, maybe you don't. They're doing a mystery box at the moment, all the fish to you, which is kind of interesting, where you just basically choose mystery box small fish, mystery box large fish, mystery box giant fish or whatever, or mystery box African cichlids, and you get mystery fish turning up. So you might have to spin the wheel on that, and that might be coming out next week. We'll see. Yeah, super sensitive. These guys like it a bit warmer. Like you to turn up the dial on the old heater. 26 to 30 degrees, which is 78 to 86. Lower pHs again, 4 to 7, depending on where you get them from. Just try and mimic that as close as you can. I think is going to be the best point of attack. So mostly they take mouthfuls of substrate and sift out like little micro crustaceans and stuff like that. So if you do have a really mature aquarium with sand substrate, they'll really appreciate that. I think you should be able to fatten them up really nicely. Once again, like give them some brine shrimp and stuff every now and then rather than just bloodworms all the time, and you'll do a lot better too. You won't get them bloating up and all that. To tell the difference, the females will have a bit of a pinker belly, and it takes a while the first couple of times, but after you are experienced, you can pretty easily tell the difference between males and females. The males grow larger as well, have slightly more extended fins and that sort of stuff. There doesn't appear to be like a particular spawning trigger. It's mainly just a good diet, good maintenance, and all that. The best source I've ever found for German blue rams is Dean, the master breeder. Aquarium Co-op did a video with him. We'll see how good the wrenched gurus are at Linkwork this evening. You might be able to track that one down. I think it's called like German blue ram breeding Dean, something like that. See if you can track one down. But super insightful, and that's why I basically tried rams so many times, because I wanted to do it, but we didn't get there. Maybe when I have less tanks and I can really concentrate in and do it, maybe they're not one for the fish room folk out there, but then again, he has a fish room, so who knows? Maybe I'm just a dud at keeping rams. Looks like the chat's going pretty quick, so I'll just go back a little bit and we'll catch up. Found if you get great ram stock, they can be super hardy, just stable. Yeah. If you know of that person, can you let me know on Instagram? Because I'm keen to try them again. It's just that I got a bit disheartened. I feel bad. Like I just want to keep them alive and get them breeding and all that and keep them happy, but that's how it goes sometimes. Maybe Shelley's. I think Shelley's kind of etched their own little category, so I didn't include them in this one. Oh, Dan's disco. Maybe you'll be my ram hookup then. We'll see. I think that's a similar thing. Got rams twice. They lasted 3 to 4 months. Slowly die off. Just got a third bunch. There we go. I remembered to mute at that time. Third batch at higher temps with discus. Yeah. I've tried a few things. I've tried quite hot. I've tried like sterile, no substrate aquariums that I can really keep up on the vacuuming. Tried regular water changes like twice as often as others, and it's just been no good. Sometimes like one of their eyes will blow up, another time their stomach will blow up, and other times they'll be wasting away. I'll worm them, and just always seems to be something. All right, Max, we might have to have a bit of a chat about the Microgeophagus ramirezi. Cool. I think we are pretty much caught up. If you did have a question or something really important and I've missed it, certainly put it down again, because it's hard to on the fly sift through people chatting to each other and then other things. I'm perfectly fine to have everyone just chat amongst yourselves and I'll ramble off some fish, so that's all good. But yeah, we'll keep moving. Thanks, Prony, as well. Nice. Sweet as. All right. So the other cool thing about these guys is that there's a billion different combinations of colors and sizes and all sorts of stuff. Look, we nearly got to cover up my whole face. We've got long fin varieties, black knight rams, which are super popular at the moment, gold rams, balloon rams, which are debatable, but we won't bother today, electric blue rams, and basically balloon varieties of every kind. And I'm sure at some point in time there'll be balloon dark knight rams, but time will tell. So there's one for every occasion here. Maybe what I'll do next is just try out like a gold ram or an electric blue ram, although I probably prefer to get a electric blue Acara instead of a ram, but that's just me. So there's a ram for every occasion here, and yeah, I'm sure you'll find something that you'll like. G'day, Thirsty Rabbit, as well. Thanks for joining the stream. And Maddie G, and anybody else that I failed to mention. Appreciate everyone here. Cool. So that's what I got for you for rams, at least the German blue variety. And next on the list is the Bolivian Ram. Terrible picture, I apologize for that. But I wanted to kind of get one that showed the colors, because the thing about Bolivian Rams are that in the stores you'll probably see them as like a bit of a dud. They won't have any color really. They'll just be kind of like a beige fish, and then they'll probably be next to the German blue rams, and you'll think, why would anyone get that when I could get this German blue ram, and so on and so forth. Nice work, Zen. You get, what do you get? You can have, where is it? This says, no, it's not there. Where was it? No, not there. Well, I've taken too long now. Oh, there it is.
Winning. Are you bipolar? I'm by winning. Win here, win there, win everywhere. Win.
All right, good job, Zen, for winning. That was a slight derail, but we'll get back onto the Bolivian Rams. Oh, Bendigo Balaclava's here too. Welcome to the stream. And Shermo, how are you, mate? Good to see you. Yeah, Black Knight Rams are awesome, but that's kind of interesting too. If you want to talk about black rams just for a slight minute, turns out that when you breed them, they throw mostly gold rams, which is kind of cool. So I think, I don't know exactly what the ratios were, but it was like 80% golds, 20% black knight rams or something like that, breeding two black knights together. So I don't know a lot about genetics, but I'm fairly sure if you took one of those original parents and then bred them to one of the 20%, then you would have better odds. But really interesting. So they must have originated from gold rams at a certain point. Bucket of kudos. Yeah, I was trying to find my bucket. Couldn't get it. So winning. You got a winning. Yeah, definitely rams from a home breeder are the way to go. Yeah, I just have to find one. But it sounds like Max has the hookup, so that's good. And yeah, it's freezing this evening. I need to get some more jumpers, otherwise you'll all think that I only have like 3 different jumpers, so which is kind of the truth, but don't tell anyone. I have 3 that I like pretty much. Anyway, so Bolivian Rams. These are called Microgeophagus altispinosus. I can do that better. Altispinosus. 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 I want to pronounce the spin because I know it has to do with the spine. I think it means like small earth-eating spiky spikes or something like that. It means. Anyway, we've butchered that enough. Let's move on. They come from the upper Rio basin in Bolivia and Brazil. Inhabit tributaries, marginal zones, oxbows and lakes, whatever an oxbow is, sand substrate or mud as well. So, that's kind of the earth-eating thing coming out again. They're getting a little bit chunkier, sort of the 7 to 8 centimeter mark. Oh, cool. Yeah, I thought I read that wrong then, but yeah, cool. So Jesse's sort of saying that I'm on the right path there with the breeding. Yeah. Oh, you've got a pair. Cool. Hopefully you can do some cool experimenting of the breeding videos with those guys, Jesse. I'll be keen to see that for sure. Anyone after Black Rams? Aqualife Warrnambool currently has stock. Nice. I don't know. It's too tempting to get into the back into the Ram game. And I don't know if with my luck with just the normal German Blues, I'd get into the Black Knights. Unless they were definitely bred here, but I doubt it because I think they're all coming from overseas. Anywho, don't put them on like a gravel or anything because they might get impacted, damaged gills, or it'll inhibit feeding and stuff like that. So it's just bad news. Keep them on some sand or basically sand or nothing. Sort of that mid-level temperature, 24 to 28, which is 76 to 82 Fahrenheit, 6 to 7.5 pH, but they're a lot more sturdy than the German Blue Rams. Nah, unfortunately, Jesse, I couldn't keep them alive long enough. In different batches, I think I've had about 10 or 15 of them, but yeah, I just had a real bad time keeping Rams alive, no matter how much work I put in. So I think sometimes you just have to give up at a certain point and revisit it later. So that's the plan. That's a good thing as well. These are also known as Bolivian butterflies, high-fin rams, ruby crown cichlids, and there's probably a couple of other names as well. What do we got here? They lay eggs on solid surfaces, biparental again, so you don't have to separate them out. And the males are going to be bigger and more extended fins than the females, and also they'll have a bit more intense colors. So Bolivian Rams, potentially a much better choice for beginners than that's a dad joke, I know there, Blackie. But I don't know if that's the trick or not. I won't ruin the joke. And we'll allow Ed the opportunity to respond to the joke. What do you get if you cross a sheep and a kangaroo? Maybe he can have the glory of the punchline. Oxbow Lake is a billabong. There you go. Thanks for that. This is the joys of doing a live stream. You get instant feedback. Cool. On the Rams last spawn, I was just about to take the parents out to save the eggs. So set up a quick tank. They ate it before I could get them out. Bugger. Well, at least you're doing something right if they're making eggs in the first place. So we got 3 more here to work through, which, as expected, has been a longer topic than usual, but I'm very passionate about this stuff if you haven't picked up on that. And starting to where's my thing here? So we'll move on from the Bolivian Rams. The next one's kind of cool. Oh, okay. I'm glad I didn't ruin it then. If you're thinking about it, Ed, let me know when you want me to deliver the punchline. The next one is the Apistogramma Agra Zzi's Dwarf Cichlid. These guys are from Peru and Brazil. Their body coloration and patterning can vary with locality once again. Males 7.5 centimeters, females 5. Temperature 22 to 29. 7.5 centimeters is 3 inches. Females is 2 inches. Temperature 22 to 29, 72 to 84. And in the wild, the pH is actually, once again, really low, 3 to 4 to breed. But there's plenty of commercially available fish that, can live in the sort of neutral pHs. You don't have to do anything that crazy. Once again, a little micro predator, and they'll pick up little inverts and stuff in the nature. Males are larger, more colorful, and have the elongated fins and the fin extensions than the females. And the females will be a lot more yellow as well. Females are going to care for the eggs once again, and there are a heap of ornamental forms of Agra Zzi apistogrammas as well. There's double reds, fire reds, Alenquer, fire golds, and Cupera. Here's a couple of versions of that. This one here is the fire red or fire gold, depending on where you are. And that one's the Alenquer. Alenquer. You know what I mean. So yeah, that's the Agra Zzi. They are a bit more aggressive, I find, than the other ones, like the Cactoides and the Panderer. I find that they're a bit more beefy, so they might have a bit of a more attitude to them in the nature. Oh yes, my name is Borat in the nature. And yeah, there you go. Got two more. Well done to everyone who's made it. Oh, thirsty, good delivery there. I must have missed it. Okay, Chattanooga Ed gave up. Yes, when you cross a sheep and a kangaroo, you get a woolly jumper. Nice. The golds, yeah, I've got a pair of the golds, and they were the same price. So yeah, the Agra Zzi Alenquer, Alenquer. Alenquer, you want to see it again? That one. We can. Oh, I'm going to mess things up. We can enlarge it. There you go. Pretty cool little fish, though, aren't they? They are available. I've seen these in Australia too. Not that often, but yeah, I've seen them. Cool. Good thing I spawn every 2 weeks. Oh yeah, nice. Very good. What was your answers then? I'm not going to be able to find it. How many South Americans does it take to change a light bulb? A Brazilian. That's pretty good. I'm liking all this. Oh, thanks, Wyoming. Yeah, it takes a little bit of effort, but I do try and get at least an hour at the start before the shenanigans ensues. And anyone out there know what this is? I mean, it might be staring you in the face, but some people may not know what the real one looks like. Maybe you will. This is Apistogramma Cacatoides, cockatoo cichlid, and you might be thinking, that ain't no Cacatoides, and you might be right, but this is what they look like in the wild. These guys are from the upper Amazon basin in western Brazil and the Amazonas in Peru. Whoa, that was probably some terrible English, but we'll get there. Males 7.5, females 5 centimeters, 3 inches and 2 inches, respectively. Temperature 22 to 29. Even though I've said it like 5 times, I still need to consult my chart here. 72 to 84 Fahrenheit. Once again, these are highly commercialized, so they're adaptable to a lot of pHs. Just as long as you keep it sort of under the 7, you should be fine. And in the wild, they sit at around the 5 to 6. So, yeah, they're adaptable. Males are larger, more colorful, and have the fin extensions once again. And there are also numerous ornamental forms of this species, such that most of you probably think triple reds or double reds are the main ones. That's the orange flash. I think that's a triple red. From what I understand, the triple and the double refers to how many fins have the red on it. There are also sunburst, gold, white gold, orange. I said orange flash, and albino, however you want to pronounce it. Cacatoides are good. Pretty much, if you want to get into the Apisto game, kick it off with these guys. But yeah, there are some really nice varieties. There's one that used to be called the Sunburst. Well, no, it's not the Sunburst. It's another one. And they've since been changed to another species, but they look really nice too. If you like those Alenquer Agra Zzi, they get more of a blue sort of color, but they're actually a different thing. So yeah, then that leaves us to our lucky last fish here, which might just do one thing just in case. Just there. This is great viewing. Apologize for this. I should have some sort of crazy thing going on in the background for the entertainment value, but we haven't got that technology today. All right, there you go. So that leaves us to our last fish, and it's one that I almost forgot until 3 minutes before the stream started. Just make sure. No worries, Ed. Thanks for swinging by. I appreciate that. I know that my time slot doesn't exactly line up with your side of the world too well, so appreciate you swinging by. It means a lot. Cody Son's keeping some wild cax. Awesome. You have to be careful with that word, cax. What did the farmer say to the cow on his roof? Get down on my roof. That makes sense. Yeah. Alenquer. It was. Alan Quer. All right, there's some rip and dad jokes in there, but I'll read those later. So the last one on the list is a classic. I can't believe that I almost forgot about them. It's the Pelvicachromis pulcher, the cribensis, commonly referred to as the common crib. There are also purple cribs, albino cribs, and Nigerian red cribs. Super easy fish. Beginners can pick these up. They get up to 4 inches, 10 centimeters. That'd be a male. Female is probably about the 3. pH 6 to 8. These guys are from Africa, around Nigeria, hence the Nigerian red cribensis. They'll live 5 to 8 years. Keep them at 24 to 26, which is 75 to 79, and you should do a good time. So the only thing is they do get a little bit aggressive when they're breeding, and they're pretty much always breeding, so just be mindful of that. But yeah, you can sort of, if you really have never bred any sort of egg laying fish, they're a great one to get kicked off with. So got some other photos here. That one there is this one here. Oh, that one there is the Nigerian red, and we've got an albino, I think, as well. Albino crib here. So cribs are cool, but yeah, I just can't believe I forgot about them. But yeah, it was cool to include an African dwarf cichlid as well on a list that was primarily American. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I also have, I guess, a few special mentions which we'll run through in the meantime, but I'll just get back to where I'm at. And yeah, hopefully you had a bit of fun there. So let me know as well if you've got some favorites that I have done some disrespect to by not including them. And I'll try and get myself in the center. And there we go. I'll get to the chat. That can go there. That can come up. And we're back. We're back in business. Cool. Rams are colorful. Certainly they are. Awesome. Why do cows wear bells? Interested to know that. Cribs, I don't know about these. Yeah, cribs. You should be able to find cribs fairly readily. They're pretty common. Cribs, the fish you breed if you want to be stuck with fish you can't get rid of. Yeah, not wrong there. Just have to ask Aquamate about that one. Actually, I only have cribs because he bred them and had nowhere else who would house them. So I was happy to play around with some cribs. You know, they're kind of cool. Blake, have you heard that female albino crib won't breed with a male albino? So you'll need a mix and breed out 2 generations. Really? That's super interesting. I wonder why that is. I wonder if something with the albinism means that the males are infertile. But that wouldn't work because I'm presuming that the albino males breed with normal females, quote unquote normals. Sorry to all those albinos out there in the chat. I'm pretty close to an albino myself, so maybe I'm allowed to say that. I had some for 2 years because I couldn't get rid of them. I sold them twice, and it took to flood the market. Yeah, it's a battle. Thanks, Jesse. Glad you liked the list. First African in the collection. Nice, thirsty. A young pair of Apistogramma Banshee. Any tips on them breeding? Like most Apistogrammas, I think. Actually, Jesse told me the good tip, and that was that originally came from Amber from Big City Betters, I think, is if you're really struggling, drain the water down 50% the day before, then after 24 hours, dump in some rainwater if you can at a lower temperature. And that should trigger most apistogrammas, but mainly you just want to give them heaps of options for caves. And they're big on panic eating the eggs, I find. So just keep them in pairs only. Substrate that buffers your pH down will help. Plants and all that is going to be helpful as well. And yeah, just plenty of cave options. They are a bit picky with their caves. I've found that terracotta seed planters, they're like a terracotta cone that you a lot of people breed plecos in. They seem to work well for the apistos too, in my experience. But yeah, other than that, just good food, nice water, and plenty of areas to stash their eggs away, and you should be fine. I wish the bandit cichlid wasn't aggressive. I really like him, but he chewed the hell out of my dojo's tail. Yeah, it's a battle. I mean, all cichlids, they can be varying levels of peacefulness, but it's like anything really. You can always get one. There's always going to be one person who makes sandcastles and one who kicks them over. So same thing goes for cichlids. No worries, Nate. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed it and gave you some maybe some inspo for a future build or something. Oh, I missed the... All right. Why do cows wear bells? Because their horns don't work. Yeah, not bad. I'm a big fan of a dad joke anyway. It doesn't take much to make me laugh with one of those. Do cribs go okay with Waru? Well, I think I've never combined the two, but I think Waru are very sort of slow moving. That cribs, especially if they were breeding, might beat up on a Waru, but not really sure. Sorry, somebody else might be able to help you out with that one. I've noticed I've got a guest. Just give me some sort of signal when you're ready to rock and roll. But keep in mind, I can only see the top 2/3 of your screen because of your name. I probably it would work for corridors. I've always found that colder water changes work for corridors and most things really. Anything that is going to be triggered by the rains, it's pretty good to do that sort of thing. G'day, Big Ears. I always struggle with pronouncing your name. Is it Big Ears? BSG? How are you? Mind Panicate the Fry. Yeah, it's a battle. It is a battle. If you don't mind not being able to see into your aquarium, you can put up like black poster card around the aquarium until the fry are not going to be panic eaten. But most people want to see it, so it doesn't work all the time. Thanks for the tips. No worries, Mr. Cuddly Poops. That was great. Welcome back to the Ivan. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Nice. Why am I up in 5 a.m? Well, I mean, this is a place to be. Why not? A Matt. That's not bad. So we do have, I guess, a few others. How am I going to do this? I haven't prepared for the photos and stuff like that, but I was really keen to put the Apistogramma Hans Loy on the list. I'm going to show you a picture of a Mcmaster eye, but they kind of look like Mcmaster eyes, but more of like a burgundy maroon color rather than the bright red. And I'm super keen to give a go at the Hans Loys, but they're really, really aggressive, so that's kind of an issue. I might be able to play. I'll pull some up. What are good tank mates for Apistogrammas? The best ones ever, but they can be a bit spendy depending on which type you get. A pencilfish, Nanostomus pencilfish, because their mouths are actually too small to be able to eat eggs and fry, so they're not a predator, and they hang out right up the top as well, so they're not even in the real estate that the Apistogrammas use. So that's a win and a win, and they supposedly actually make the parents exhibit, tighter parenting behavior, just keeping an eye on them, kind of a distraction away from the other parents, stuff like that. So yeah, I said that FPV, I was talking about the difference anyway. So yeah, I don't have a picture here of the Hans Loy. I was showing a Mcmaster eye, but just, yeah, anyway. All right. But yeah, any sort of nanofish should work. Ember tetras, different rasboras, and that will be fine. And yeah, that's pretty much right. Silent. How often do I stream? So I've been doing these Thursday nights every week, 6 p.m. Australian time. And then this week I just filled in on Monday for another time slot, but it's kind of made me think that a morning stream might be the go. So I'm in the market for a morning hour of power, something like that. Just so that, yeah, with kind of 900 odd people now, I just want to make sure that everyone can ask a question and all that. Some people live in the opposite time zone, so that'd be good. It was good to see some new faces I haven't seen, so potentially an hour of power one morning through the week, and then this stream here, on Thursday nights. So welcome in our first guest here. This is a bit clunky. I've got too many buttons to click. G'day, welcome.
Hi, everybody.
The doctor's in the house.
I was so ready to join the stream just before, and then I tipped a drink all over my table.
I was wondering what was going on.
It just happened to be an afternoon when I had all of the electrical devices spread out over my table.
Nice.
That I kind of had to jump to attention and sort it out real quick.
Yeah, because I could see you were moving around, but obviously it says Dr. Black, for the whole bottom third, and I was like, hopefully he hasn't done this,
Yeah, no, I was in a mild panic state, shall we say?
Nice. So yeah, that's a good clarification, Zen. Morning for me, so I think it was 6 p.m. for for Eastern American time, but I've had a bit of a look, and there was no other days that particular time was good. So who knows? I might need somebody, I might need it to be that somebody says, "No, I'm finished with streaming," and then I'll swoop in or something like that. But I'm in the market anyway.
Maybe you need also beside your temperature chart, you need a time conversion chart.
Oh,
so you know what's going on.
The worst thing ever, because no
it
matter
changes
what
3 times a year.
Yeah, and I don't know how many there are in America. Probably 5 different times, 5 or 6 different bands of longitude, or whichever one it is.
I think there's only 3 or 4 time zones in the States, and we've got 5 here.
Yeah, I hate it, whatever.
And hello, Jesse, and Wyoming Adventures, and Chevy. How are you, peoples? And Shep, how are you, Matt? Good to see you, mate. And can I just say too, it was only 24 hours ago that you busted that 900 mark. And you're sitting on 941 now. You've got an extra 40 subscribers in the most recent 22 hours. Well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah, we're a steam train. The hype is building. Get on board.
It's like a snowball effect.
I guess there's a lot of Michelin shrimp fans out there. There was something in the chat. Yeah, Blackie has cleaned up the old facial hair, I think. Shaved a few years ago.
Yeah, and I regret it. I regret it massively.
Someone was asking about better rubra. Oh, okay. Did you order some, but they didn't successfully arrive? I saw you were selling some really cool betters the other day, actually, Jesse.
I don't want to look younger, Jesse. I want to look distinguished with the salt and pepper through my beard. But I'll take it. Fair enough. I'll take it that I look younger. It's probably because I've got the hairdo of a 17-year-old, though.
But you've been doing the hairdo for ages. There's a lot of not quarantine, like a lot of lockdown mullets and skullets and all sorts of hairdos getting around at the moment. But you coined it. You were there in the beginning. Old school.
It doesn't take me quarantine to do a silly haircut. Oh, Aaron Armstrong, did I hurt your feelings? Sorry. I've seen you there, Wyoming Adventures, on my streams, and I appreciate your presence.
Interesting. Yeah, that's rough. What's spawning like crazy? Your better rubras, Max? Mine haven't got really going yet. I thought I saw a mouthful the other day, but apparently not.
It's nice. I know. I'm owning my receding hairline sativa night.
You're coughing it early, Blakey.
Oh no, straight into it. Wow. Lucky I've got not only tight skin, as Jesse says, but I've got thick skin as well.
Yeah.
My hairline's been receding since I was about 25, and it's not letting up. So, you know, I just own it, sativa night. I just own it. But yeah, Chewy, I know about that concert. I'll be there with bells on. Probably not when it goes live because I'll be asleep at that hour. But as soon as I wake up, same as last Sunday morning, my time, I'll be clicking on that and turning it up loud.
There has been a lot of good musicians doing live streams and all that at the moment. Actually, there was it Post Malone was doing
Nirvana.
Yeah, Nirvana. That's right.
Yeah, and that was really good. He's a gem, that kid. He's like really quite talented.
People were hating on him for wearing a dress, but I was like, that's what they did.
That was all part of the Nirvana tribute.
Yeah, it's interesting. And I saw that Ian Moss and Jimmy Barnes were doing one as well the other day, which is more.
Oh, did they?
More my go, yeah.
I saw a good video from 12 Foot Ninja. If you're not familiar with that Australian band, they did oh crikey, who was it? Was it a Huey Lewis and the News cover song? That was pretty cool too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's really interesting. It's hard to keep up actually with a lot of them. It's kind of like just a thing that randomly pops up and you're like, oh, they're 2 hours into a concert.
Even Metallica did it the other day, but they played a old concert from 91 or 92 or something on their YouTube channel.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool, but because that was a great era for Metallica.
Nice. I noticed we had a second guest swing by the backstage here, so see once he gets himself sorted as well. Oh, he's gone, so got gun shy.
Bit of the old in and out. We likes a bit of the old in and out.
What fish do you guys specialize in new around here? Oh yeah, that's a good one. So you can go first and I'll just keep reading comments.
I would never, ever claim to be a specialist in any field, but I like my large American cichlids. So yeah, I'm currently breeding Feste cichlids and Jaguar cichlids. I was a prolific rivulatus cichlid breeder for quite a while, but now I'm focused on my Festes and my Jaguar cichlids and bristlenose, and I've got guppies and shrimp and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But specialist is such a, a fierce word, isn't it, really? How do you specialize in something unless you've got 57 tanks or more?
Yeah. And for me, I just pretty much keep anything that you can keep, for the most part, with plants. But I just like to pick up those things that most people haven't seen. So like I've got the wild bedders, I guess, Michelin shrimp now, a stingray, Saratoga, discus, angels, rainbow fish, emerald rasboras, CPDs, rice fish, just things that are maybe a little bit out of the ordinary. Different guppies, pea puffers. So it's pretty good. And in the summertime as well, I got right into pseudomogils as well. Spotted blue eyes, honey blue eyes, and the illuminatus too. So, yeah.
Can I just ask, Wyoming Adventures, what was the In Excess concert? They were my first favourite band when I was a young fella. I'd like to see an In Excess concert, especially if it was one involving Michael Hutchence.
But yeah, I guess similar to Jesse, I wouldn't say like I just specialised, more just going into a shop and just, I haven't seen that before, I need it. Virtual tomatoes. Hillstream leeches are on the list for sure, but that'll be a good one to pick up in the future. And similarly, I'm good at breeding dragonflies apparently, although it's, I guess, never confirmed, so I shouldn't keep blaming the dragonflies. I can't tell if you're on the phone or not, guest number 2, but just give me a thumbs up or whatever when you're ready. Yeah, on the phone by the looks. Except, anyway.
Oh, I do apologise, Blake, if you lost a subscriber, but it would seem, based on the chat, that Aaron Armstrong has said unsub, see ya. Yeah,
you can see that, but it was hidden. I think Prawny cleaned that one up, but...
right.
I don't know. I haven't thought much of it. It's fine.
Well, do we really need people like that around here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. If you're gonna unsubscribe to me because you're smoking on my stream, it's kind of a stretch, so it's okay.
I was trying to explain that I was in a stressful predicament where I'd spilt a drink all over my electrical equipment. But surely he'd appreciate that one might need a cigarette.
Oh, you want to see a trick, Sativa? How's that? Oh, where's the music on? How's that for a trick? You want this trick? Is that enough tricks?
And I thought it was pretty choice of Sativa Knight. Came in with the dig and lasted at least.
Yeah, and I'm good to have you, Sativa. Thanks.
Indeed. Clearly thanks. Showing it's got a chest full of metal.
It's giving me the pump up that I really needed. So, speaking of, I've got some big old projects here. I don't have any I can show you there, but I'm loving terrariums. Let me know in the comments here. Do you mind the terrarium comment? Do you mind the terrarium content? Is it too much of a stretch from fish-related stuff, or is it kind of like in the same ballpark? Keen to hear.
I love I love terrariums and paludariums. I think they're all awesome.
Yeah. Especially as well because like with the home office setup, I've got it right next to my desk, and yeah, you can sort of sneak a few into the house with terrariums, not so much with aquariums.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Guess number 2. Oh yeah, cool. I'll roll the Pokemon thing, I guess I should. Oh, too clunky again. I've got too many windows.
What's
G'day.
happened there, buddy? You messed up.
I got too
G'day,
many
how are you?
windows.
Where's some good light?
Bruno,
G'day, Mr. Black.
how are you, buddy?
Yeah, I'm great. What are you doing?
I'm
Yeah.
doing a selfie. I'm taking a selfie for my lady.
Oh, that's nice. That's sweet. So what's been happening? I caught a bit of your Dwarf Cichlid talk, and it makes me want to get some Apistos, which has already been on the back of my head for the last few months, but I don't know, you're really making me want them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It's a wormhole. You want to be careful. Soon you'll have like one tank of Africans, one of flower horns, one of Apistos, one of everything else.
I think essentially
Well,
what
honestly-
you're saying is saying he'll have a second fish room.
Or that, yeah.
Well, I do have a spare about 40, 50 square meters of shed if I sold a couple of cars,
You did?
but
Oh, you would if you
Pardon?
did. I thought you were
Yeah.
announcing you sold them.
nah. So there's actually provisions in my concrete slab for a car hoist. So
Right.
if I'd actually saved up the money and bought a hoist, I could actually get half of my shed back because the cars could be stored on top of each other.
Yeah, right. Nice.
But I'm actually trying to shut down some IBCs, not start up more tanks.
But
So my power
then you're-
bill jumped like $200 with those 2 IBCs and the 8-foot.
In case people here haven't seen, can you just turn the... Is it going to be too dark if you just turn the camera onto them?
No, there's a lot.
Oh, nice. So if you're not familiar with Rumble's fish room, he's decided to put an 8-foot tank on top of some IBCs. So, and that's kind of like open air, isn't it? So you're heating those now.
Oh, they're kind of heated. We've got insulation up there. Look, the boxes are the insulation. Nah, so yeah, they're heated, but that's only got a 300 watt heater. That IBC's got a 400 watt heater, and that IBC's only got a 200 watt heater. So they're not. So as it's getting cooler, that one there is definitely cooler than this one. But I don't want to put any more heaters in them. I kind of want to shuffle it around. I'm thinking about keeping the 8-foot heated, but not heating the 2 IBCs.
Right.
None of those 3 tanks share water or anything. They're all separate systems.
Nah, they're all separate. So that's the other thing I could do is put a small pump and have like a trickle system, but essentially I'm still heating over 3,000 litres if I do that. So like to put it in perspective, this little setup here costs more to run than my whole fish room. So, but in saying that, I said if I sold some flower horns and it made this worthwhile, that I would heat it in winter. And I might have sold 3 males this week, so that would actually cover the power for the winter and then some. So I don't know. We'll see. It's a tough decision. And I've actually got a Blake's Aquatics exclusive.
Oh, no.
Some people in the chat might get excited. Are you ready?
Looking at that, I reckon the battery was flat.
No, battery's not flat.
Starter. It was the starter. That was the problem.
It was the operator.
No. So it's not fixed. It's running, but it's not fixed. The stator isn't charging. So some people in the chat might know what that means. So it's got a brand new battery in it, which means it's getting enough current to run, but basically it'll go flat over time because it's not charging. Kind of like the alternator in your car when it breaks.
Also, guest number 3, give us a thumbs up whenever you're ready. Oh, you've got some support for your bike there, Rumble. It's a first. do a flip. I've told you to do a flip. I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to do that.
Do one.
So
live.
on Monday,
what could happen?
Sativa
actually,
did a pop a wheelie on it. Oh.
But it's all right if that bike's broken, because I went to my in-laws and picked up my missus' bike, that quad under all that shit there. And so last weekend I actually took my fiance's bike riding and left her at home. She wasn't too impressed, to be honest.
Welcome, Shep. Good to have you.
Hey, Shep.
Good to be here.
G'day, mate. Nice flanny.
I live in these things.
Classic.
Oh, do you want me to get the hat too?
Does it match?
Hey, look out.
Classic hat as well. You've got all the classic stuff.
I can go put the saddle on the horse, but it's a little bit dark.
Blake doesn't allow non-fish related content on his channel.
Yeah. For good reason. Because, I don't know. It's all, once the hour of the topic is over, I have no control after that. What happens? People.
I just thought I wasn't going to do too much. I just wanted to show it running because last week I was just having a nightmare.
It did seem to be somewhat of a struggle last week, getting that thing going.
It wasn't that day. I spent all day Saturday on it, all day Sunday, and then I just put all the tools down on Sunday. And I was like, I just need a few days break and a clear mind. I might think of what was wrong. And then on Tuesday after work, I was like, what if it's voltage drop? And I connect the jumper leads up to my car and it started straight away. And I just felt like the biggest idiot. I had the whole side of the motor off. I did the cam timing. I did the valve clearances. I bought a new carby for it. Like, it was just hours and hours. I took it to someone else's house. He went over it. It was just a nightmare. Anyway, that's enough of that. Don't want to talk about it anymore. Adventure says, I hear birds. Yeah, there's a couple around. Serpron a lot. Stunt devil.
Damn. That was not a
I was going to say that might be my film running. I'll just turn it off.
I'm definitely not a stunt devil. Serpron a lot. I'm only just trying to start getting the confidence to go fast enough to clear the whoops and like float over the top of them. And now that I'm doing it, I realize it's actually easier than going slower.
Yeah, full stand ahead, always better.
Yeah, no jumps for me, but I feel like the Chinese bike would fall apart.
I was just at least this week I'll know who the one thumbs downer was. So that's a positive. It's funny, isn't it? Though, like with the internet, you know. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, doesn't matter.
Clearly, someone who doesn't like motorbikes.
Yeah, must have been.
That's all right. Wait till I start doing Gemini content. Like,
Oh, I'm there. I'm sold already.
you know what? I actually get a lot of comments that ask what's happening with the Gemini in the background of my videos. So there's more than one person that wants to see it.
It's an Aussie classic, Aussie icon, mate. How can you not do Gemini content?
Do it over at Rumble's Geminis. Ryan says, "Jump the pond. Nothing could possibly go wrong,
except the impact with the fence."
Thank you.
So, Dr. Black, thanks heaps, mate, for pushing us over 900.
Oh, you know, it's what I do, isn't it?
You got the trifecta in that stream.
Oh yeah, that was quality. Well, I think it was a quadrella, wasn't it?
Oh, who else?
No, I was going to say because Blake was already actually at 900, wasn't he? So Blake and yourself and Thirsty got past the 900, and we got Shep past the 50 as well.
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
fucking stoked for that. I could never imagine like the first month I'd hit 50 subscribers.
Yeah, it took me nearly 18 months to get 95.
Busted Prawny. I got the old sneaky box of favourites on the go here.
I actually could use a snack. I'm pretty hungry.
Just have one of Blake's favourites. Have the Moros. The Moros are my favourite.
Might have a bit of a coffee from my custom Australian shrimp trader coffee cup. Pretty good.
I don't understand why Moro as a chocolate bar is so hard to find in this country, yet it's in every single box of favourites.
Yeah,
it is the best chocolate bar out there, and you can't buy it.
That's a good point. I don't think I've ever had one like a full bar. I've only ever had the favourites ones.
It's because
so rare to find them.
So good that the human body couldn't handle a king size Moro.
However, in saying that,
but we still
Cadbury has started putting a 200 gram block out with Moro in it.
Oh yeah, I've had that block. It's not the same though.
No, that's exactly what I was about to say. It's not the same at all as inhaling a Moro chocolate bar, but it's it's going to have to do as a close second.
It's
they Kiwis. Sativa Knight says Moros are a Kiwi thing. They beat the hell out of them.
Interesting.
Same sort of thing as a Mars bar, but so much better.
Always jerky, Jesse. Always jerky.
I just don't think you can beat a Kit Kat chunky bar.
Oh no, you can definitely.
Well, you can, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I do find that when I do a Kit Kat chunky though, I eat the chocolate off the outsides first and the top and bottom
really?
before I tackle the wafers. Yeah.
Can't go past a good old wagon wheel.
Wagon wheels are good.
Yeah, they're valid. They need a better chocolate on them though. I'm waiting for an exquisite chocolatier to upscale the wagon wheel to where we really need the wagon wheel to be.
If we're going to brand,
I'll let you in on a little thing about me. This will lose everyone here, so we'll be down to one viewer soon. But if it's a classic box of favourites, you eat the Turkish Delights first. But if there's other people around, you eat the Turkish Delights last, and then you get more chocolate because nobody else eats it except I love it.
My rule is always put the Turkish Delights in the freezer and then give them to my sister when she visits at Christmas time because she loves them.
If we're talking about like chocolate treats, but can we include honeycomb Maltesers?
Oh yeah, Yeah, nice. Weren't they a very limited edition though? But
Oh, they're not common. I think they're back in the shops now, but
yeah, I can get behind that. I don't mind like a crunchy or a violet crumble or whatever.
Might have to
oh,
investigate.
no, I don't. Violet crumble's too
Brittle.
too hard, whereas like the honeycomb Malteser is like the malt is the honeycomb flavored malt, the same as the normal Malteser, so it's not that real hard honeycomb, but it's the flavor. That's why I like it. If that made sense.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Everyone just went silent.
I was just reading through the chat.
Yeah, I'd eat anything. I've got a massive sweet tooth, so it's all good as far as I'm concerned.
I've just had
Aquamate,
to.
you're allergic to everything.
You're allergic to everything.
No, Aquamate is Josh.
Oh,
You just
yeah,
said I'm allergic to chocolate.
Yeah, he's allergic to everything except fish tank water.
Better unsub than Aquamate. Unsub. See you next week.
Don't encourage more, mate.
Curly whirlies. Yeah, I can get on that party dance. Discus disco.
Thirsty reckons.
Voice.
Had a bit of a chomp today. Chomps are good. Blast from the past.
Oh, no way. Haven't had one of them for years.
Chomp, yeah, Chomp's a choice. And Chiquito, one of the most underrated chocolate bars ever.
Yeah.
Thirsty's just sent through a couple of photos of scorched peanut bars. I can't say I've ever had one of them.
Well, I can definitely say I've had them, and you can keep the whole box, Thirsty. I prefer my peanuts less scorched.
What about like what are they called? Space food bars, space astronaut bars, or whatever they're called. Maybe we're getting too obscure.
Haven't seen
No, I
them.
haven't had that one.
They were like a caramel sort of setup. They were really good.
You sold me on caramel.
Oh yes, Sativa's backing me with the chomps. Yeah, there's a limited box, like a limited edition box of favorites now that has a chomp in it, a mini chomp.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
It's fucking top. I mean, flaming top shelf. I love a chomp.
Yeah,
They're very similar to a curly whirly, aren't they? From memory.
there's a bit of wafer happening in there and caramel and all that. It's a good time. Oh yeah, Dan, I'm very partial to the old Zinger Stacker. That's for sure.
Oh no, this is getting too far.
He's gone from sweet to savoury in the blink of an eye.
Oh, Lyndon's
If we're
got,
gonna
like, space food bars, they're called Astro bars.
if we're gonna keep it fish related,
Alright.
a Jewfish backbone in the smoker.
Yeah, you lost it.
Like
Yeah.
when, yeah. I
But
think they got a
that's
different
something
name
Muller-
overseas. Pardon?
I think they're Mulloway over here.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think they've got a different name. Yeah, so like after it's been filleted, you just put the whole backbone on the smoker, and it's like real fatty meat between the bones. It's so good.
The double downer. Is that the one which had chicken instead of bread, like instead of buns?
Oh,
Yeah.
that was shocking, wasn't it? But so delicious and edible.
Actually, I don't mind a bit of sushi, Aquamate, but on that topic, I'm big into the old like the katsu curry, you know, like which has like a schnitty and then curry and rice. On a cold day like today, that's what we're talking about.
Hey, I'm going to disappear for a moment. So if you want to either put me backstage or just leave my fish tank on screen, that's okay with me. I'll be back in a matter of moments.
No worries.
See you soon, boys.
See ya. Or garlic bread. Does anybody here have any sort of pressing issues or cool things they want to show off about their fish or fish-related things? Doesn't have to be, but just in case, you know. If you're going to Google instead, somebody here might know.
Well, I recently just done a video up on me hitting 50 subscribers with a bit of a plant giveaway. So I think I put the link in the chat there, and I'll put it up again. Yeah, so I'm extremely stoked to actually hit 50. I was expecting to hit 50 maybe in the first year or so, but so I am giving away a blue, nice blue Strichia, probably about 15 centimeters tall, to Australian viewers, as it's a little bit hard to ship overseas.
You didn't want to do some illegal overseas plant shipping?
I can try. If we get a blue Strichia through, who knows what I can get through.
Nice. Well, no, it's well deserved. You certainly with the right group of people, I guess, is a pretty good start. I was stalled for ages before I came across these people. Even if they do go on about motorbikes and smoke cigarettes on streams and all that fun stuff, I certainly am indebted to all you guys here. So, yeah, you're in the right spot, and everyone here looks after each other. So, yeah, I don't know really what else to say, but well done, well deserved.
Hey, Shep.
Keep pumping out.
Looks like you just cracked 60 subscribers.
Oh, I haven't even looked, but
turns out I wasn't subscribed. I have to say one thing, but you've only got 60 subscribers and I've got 900, but your thumbnails are better than mine.
Well, I've probably done about 100 hours of research into trying to make videos and make thumbnails and making sure I add the right keywords and all that other crap to my videos to try and boost them up a little bit. So I have put the research in behind it.
Yeah. Speaking of boosting, I've got a bit of a controversial thing.
This is always good. Oh, did I say that out loud?
So like the topic of making a video similar to a large channel to try to pick up some views in the search bar. Do you think if you're doing videos similar to a channel that's got like 100,000 subs, would that be shamed upon as much as like if you just did it here or there? Would it be shamed upon as not like some people that you see like copy video for video? That's obviously ridiculous. But like, I was watching a video the other day on like exactly what you're saying, Shep, like ways to improve stuff, because I felt I was going a bit slow. And that was like one of the things, copy channels. But I just can't see myself doing it.
I've looked at them and I've pulled myself up on releasing a couple of videos because I feel that Blake's done it better or Josh has done it better or even you've done it better. Like, I don't want to step on anyone's toes. I don't want to do the same content that other people are doing. But then again, that is how you grow your channel. So it's sort of a catch-22 there. But I think if you just ask the channel first or add them to the descriptions or mention them in the video, I can't really see a problem too much there.
Yeah, I think if like obviously there's only so many videos we can do as fish tubers. If say I did a video like 3 months ago and then you did one now, like you can't really class that as copying because like we're all going to cover the same content eventually.
I was going to say like my top 5 nanofish, like you search in that and you get like 1 million videos on the top nanofish. Like it's impossible not to copy someone.
But I think there is definitely merit in it. Like if you look back to the Underwater Pet Expo stuff, we were all doing videos on that at the one time, and they were doing really quite well. So, yeah, it's interesting to think. Like I think there is merit to it. I will be doing a Rachel O'Leary tank built from scraps or whatever, because I think that would be fun, and I've got heaps of scraps here anyway. But I'm keen to do it soonish while other people are doing it as well. Just, if I'm doing it already, why not ride the wave as well at the same time?
I was going to say, I've seen her video. Then after that, I looked at about 10 other videos that were exactly the same thing. Like, people are just jumping straight on the back of her videos and releasing the exact same thing within the next day or two.
Yeah.
So they're definitely stealing her content.
With that. Like, I don't agree with, like, if, let's say, Rumble, you did a flower horn video tomorrow, and then I just say, all this stuff about flower horns and put stock footage in that. Like, that's a bit dumb. But if I'm going to do it anyway, like, just expediting it rather than giving it, longer, because like as we sit here right now, I've probably got, like, I could probably make no videos and still upload until this time next week. But if I do it, then I'll probably upload it tomorrow just because it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's definitely a bit of a touchy subject. Like, I think I've probably got a bit more leeway to, like, some people than others. Probably a little bit biased. Like, you could straight out copy one of my videos and it wouldn't bother me. But Dr. Black did it on our land. No, I'm joking. He's not here, so he can't hear me. They probably can hear me still.
Yeah, and that's right, Prawny. Like, it's put out there as a challenge for people to do it. So, what's the video? I don't know. I can't think of an example, but like a perfect example is you, Shep. You did a white cloud breeding and a neon tetra breeding, and like if I did tomorrow a white cloud breeding, just because I'm not original enough to think of an idea that day and I do it, then that's not really good. But yeah, if I was like 2 weeks into filming and I had like footage of fry already, from eggs to fry or something like that, like I'm not canning it just because somebody else did it.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, everyone's got their own channel. Everyone's got to do their own stuff. Like, I might have people subscribe to me that aren't subscribed to you, so they're not going to see the same footage. So yeah, that's exactly right. And I've had people message me before saying, "Oh, you did a video on blah blah blah," and I also had one, so now I can't do it. And I'm like, well, mate, I'm not a psychic. I don't know what you're going to do videos on, and it takes longer than 5 minutes to do a video. So it's possible that people are going to do it at the exact same time on the exact same topic. Yeah.
Ugly man. It's only fair. You are doing a freshwater, so I'll commit these guys. They'll all do a saltwater. Actually,
I'm planning on doing a saltwater brief eventually.
I'm not doing saltwater.
Hold that thought. 1 minute.
Where's he gone?
I don't know, some sort of technical difficulties.
I'm doing a bit of Googling.
No, he's probably going to find footage of his own videos.
So that guy, did you catch the video of me giving that guy the flower horns?
Oh yeah, fucking! I can't believe you did that, eh?
He's just messaged me saying, "What do I feed them?"
What?
Right. So does that mean he hasn't fed them for 2 days?
Oh fuck!
People aren't very smart.
Oh, what's worse is the fucking the amount of money that the fish are worth, and he doesn't even know what to feed the fucking things.
He was cooked. He tried to blame coronavirus and lockdown on the reason he didn't pick it up.
Oh, this bloke
But-
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just messaged me. You missed that,
Oh.
Blake. But so he bought the fish on the 18th of January. We didn't get flights locked down until the end of February. So where was he?
Yeah. Also, yeah, so this is what I was going to show. Ugly Man. Picked up this today. Oh, bloody thing.
Can't even tell what it is.
I was going to say your green screen gets in the way of half of it.
Blue believer.
Hang on.
Everything's
Hang on.
green.
All right, I'll turn off the green screen. I've committed this much to the bit, so I might as well keep going. Chroma key. There we go.
It's a little reefer.
60 litre. It was $100. It's insane.
Fuck, that's all right.
New.
Should stop swearing.
Yeah.
Is that like a does it have like a little air-driven skimmer or anything?
I think this is the exact one that my father-in-law runs. I haven't researched it at all. It's just on clearance at my local fish store today. Oh yeah, it's got a little skimmer in it. What kind is it? Ugly Man probably knows more than I do.
My computer just decided to green screen.
Yeah, I don't know what type of skimmer it is, but $100 is pretty bloody good. But I do know that the light's a bit of a dud in these, so I'm going to still use my box light thing that I've got. But yeah, why not? And that way I can get all the equipment out of the tank, and because in mine it kind of gets pretty ugly, messes around with the view. You know, like once you have a skimmer and a heater and a couple of filters in there, it's like there's no room for the rocks and fish and all that. So yeah, good old fashioned clearance tank. They were also selling tanks, like small ones, for $20, $10. So pretty good.
So can you run those small
Can you-
reef tanks without skimmers?
I don't know.
Yeah, you can, but you need to run more. You need to do more water changes and stock lighter.
Yeah, it's like that. Like I can do tanks without filters, but I wouldn't say, yeah, you don't need a filter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like depending on how skilled you are, and you know how, I guess, if you know what to look out for and all that. Yeah, it's an okay skimmer, not great, but it works. Yeah, I'm just happy to get the skimmer out of the tank. Yeah, I think so, Ugly Man. I think I'll probably do an unboxing and setup and all that. And yeah, I'll probably set it up. So I was keen to I've wanted an actual all-in-one thing for my saltwater for ages, because usually I just use like my normal tanks, but I'm sick of having things in the tank pretty much. Yeah, and that's right, Ryan. So my reef tank at the moment currently uses a AquaClear hang on back and another type of internal filter. Yeah. Mainly because, why do I have the two filters? I don't know why. I had a power head once and then it clogged up, and I just put an internal filter in there, I think, and didn't think much of it ever again. Yeah, and that's right. All you have to do is have a bit of a whiff at the skimmate, like that's what's in the skimmer cup. And yeah, you won't want that in your tank. That is the grossest stuff you'll ever smell.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always shied away from saltwater tanks because it just needs so much more equipment, and I've never had that sort of equipment. I've always just had the freshwater tanks.
I guess it's one of those things though, like if if you run a decent planter tank, once you get CO2, decent light, filter, heater, if you have expensive fish, you might put an inkbird in there as well. I mean, you can get fairly equipment heavy in the freshwater side too.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always run simple tanks. Like, I've never done CO2 until I started doing videos and stuff like that. So it's always been low tech stuff.
Yeah. Prawny, I get my saltwater from the ocean. If I can be bothered, like if I'm going to Melbourne, then I'll pick up some from a shop, but it's just easier to get it from the ocean for me.
Have you ever had any like parasite or anything getting it straight from the ocean?
Nah, I just put a stocking over the end, so nothing too crazy can get in.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking into it, Dan, and I will get a saltwater tank eventually.
All right, I better put this back before I drop it or throw my back out. 1 second.
So I'll actually tell you a story. I bought a second-hand tank. It was 2 by 2 by 2.5. I got a second-hand light off a mate pretty cheap. I built the stand out of scraps from work. I bought a skimmer off a shop called like Fish Street in the UK, I think it is. And I set it all up. I got some free live rock off a friend helping me set it up. And I actually sold the tank secondhand for more than it cost me to set it up. The only real outlay was the skimmer was $300.
Yeah, the old Fowler tank's a good way to start too, but same as how I'm a plant guy in the freshwater side, I'm definitely a coral guy in the saltwater. I would happily do a coral only tank.
Yeah, so I just had coral. Can't remember what else I had. A Lenny fish or something. The bicolor Lenny. Coral banded shrimp.
Yeah.
Not many fish at all.
I hate bristleworms. Yeah, that's the thing I don't like about saltwater is there's that many intruders and hitchhikers and parasites and all that stuff you can get. Like, it's a lot easier treating a freshwater tank for things. That might be an education thing, I guess, but I just feel like, especially when you get in live rock, it's like so many different little critters on it. It's weird.
Yeah, so what actually happened, my friend bought a tank, a rundown reef tank off somebody on Gumtree, and he wanted to get rid of the live rock. He only wanted the hardware from the deal, so he actually gave me all the live rock, and it was phosphate high, so it took quite a lot of water changes to get it right. But all of a sudden, once I moved all the live rock into a stable tank instead of it being in like this rundown tank, all of a sudden there was like 20 odd corals in there that just started appearing on the rock. And like in the end, I only bought like a few corals because I managed to save all these little tiny dots that were on the live rock turned into big corals. It was so exciting to watch.
Yeah. That reminds me of, so this 4-foot tank here, it's a 4 by 18. Actually, it's the back one. It's the 4 by 18 by 21 inches. And I bought that for $100 on eBay, and it came with 2 of the giant styrofoam eskies full of base rock, the stand, the tank, the lids, a canister filter. I think that was the Nautilus 2700. And it was $100, and they drove it at 100 Ks to me.
Oh, wow.
That was just insane. They were trying to sell it for ages, and they were so nice. I've talked to them ever since, but yeah, crazy deal.
Papa wanted that sale.
I could have easily sold all the base rock for the same price as make my $100 back, I reckon. Because that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How far am I from the beach? I take the dog for a walk there. What's it? And I'm not a great walker. Let's see. I don't think it's very far. Like not even a few hundred meters.
$1.50.
Yeah, probably. I like to be accurate, though, so we'll map it.
That's just the engineer coming at you.
Yeah, it must be. Ocean. Anyway, you guys can. I don't want to hold up any conversation. You can.
Oh, we're waiting.
Be silent.
Well, while there is a doldrum in the conversation, I mean, we could always talk about, I don't know what I've missed while I've been gone, but Shep's Aquatics racing up subscriber count, 62 subscribers now. If anyone hasn't
Mostly
got
thanks to
Shep's
you, by the way.
Aquatics yet.
Okay, so it's a bit more than $1.50. It's 800 meters. There you go.
Oh, when I said $1.50, I meant 1.5 kilometers.
Oh, I thought you meant one. Yeah, 800 meters. So not too far. Yes, and I hate that, Dan. I hate the feeling of putting my hand in the reef tank. Wait, I hate the feeling of putting my hand in the reef tank over putting them in the planter. Yeah, and I hate picking up rock. Like if you switch it over tanks, like I'll be doing. I hate picking up the rock and then like some weird little shrimp critter gets on you or something. It's like, is this some sort of alien that's going to give me, super disease or something? Going to give me Corona 2.0? Who knows what that thing is?
It certainly does seem that there's a lot more frightful creatures in salt water than there is in fresh water that can just touch you and send you to the ER.
That being said, I am still not a huge fan of Hydra and Planaria either. They're
Touch
pretty
wood, I
awesome.
haven't had any of that yet.
You can get rid of them in 72 hours anyway, so it's no big drama.
So it's not a sponsored shout out, but I've just dropped the link of the website where this shirt actually came from.
I was just going to suggest that you pass that on because I think there's lots of people out there that are interested in that shirt but don't necessarily want to vocalize their interest in said design.
I don't understand the correlation there. I don't know what the appeal is with that shirt at all. I'm far too innocent.
I reckon
I'll be like walking.
Based on the last 3 or 4 weeks on the planet, I think a lot of people would probably have an understanding of what it's about. But, as of the was it the 24th of April when all of that
started
stuff
offering premium shirts free of charge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Get a better quality shirt for a few weeks, and then take it away from us like we never deserved a good quality shirt. Back to 480p for you, sir.
Actually, you've got me thinking now, Dan. I might get some of those like super industrial rubber gloves that go like way up to your armpits, and I might use that to transfer this saltwater tank over. Because even some of the corals, I'm like, I don't want to touch this, and I'm like, should I get this out of the water?
What are you doing, Jack?
Give me palitoxin or something? I don't know.
Remind me tomorrow, Blake, and I'll get you a set that go up to your elbows.
Yeah, that sounds good. I need a full hazmat suit, actually. That could be funny for the video. Leave it with me.
I could probably arrange one of those sperm suits.
Hey, Funk. I loved your chat with Aquamate too. I thought that was really good.
Aquafunk had a chat with Aquamate.
Yeah.
Must have missed it. But speaking of Planaria, I see that you had a video out about a planaria trap. How like I'll go on record as saying I have not watched that video yet. I haven't been doing a lot of YouTube.
All right, hang on a second. See ya. Oh no, I'll bring it back. That was a mistake.
Demoted to the bottom row.
Is it effective? Does it work?
I think the key was that what I said at the end was I didn't catch any in the video, and I haven't really tried since because I just nuked him with the chemicals. But I say that like with any bait, like with any trap, it's only as good as the bait, and I don't think I used very good bait. Like I think if you put something real nice in there, like bloodworms or something. Also, Prawny gave me a good tip. Apparently, that you push so there's no entrance. I don't know if that makes sense, but you know, like with the fish trap I told you about, Rumble, it's like concave, so they're already like it's not hard to swim through the hole. So you use it with the end of a pen, and you need to push that right to the entrance so that they don't have to wiggle around and then in the entrance. Anyway, it might make sense later if you watch it, but if you can afford the chemicals, just do that. But I feel like, yeah, it's one of those things because with planarians, if there's one, they can make more. So you kind of have to keep the trap in there forever. But I just put it out there as like a budget option. If you had planaria, you're worried about your shrimp and you couldn't afford the powder pretty much.
Yeah, I have a friend who has a planaria outbreak in their tank at the moment. So I suggested to watch that video, even though I hadn't watched it myself.
Yeah.
As a suggestion for a how-to.
If you can, the order I would go in is chemicals, fish, such as like the sparkling gouramis, which might be a reason why I picked those up as well, and then planaria trap in that order.
Righto. I shall heed such advice.
But yeah, I thought it would be worth trying out anyway, and you don't really know until you give it a good test. But yeah, so far I would say it hasn't been that great, but I haven't also tried many good baits or anything either.
And what was your chemical solution that you went to? Just like a chookwormer or something?
In America, the wormers are okay because they have what's the active ingredient? Anyway, we can't get it in Australia, so you can only use Planaria 0 or no Planaria. But they're like $45 for 50 milliliters, which that will last a long time, but it's pretty expensive to just shell out $50 for some Planaria, you know?
No, even the other worming medications they recommend are like $38 for a couple of tablets and whatnot. So it's definitely not even if you're talking about your dogs and your cats, it's not a cheap episode to deworm an animal.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
But what's that? I need to find out. It'll bug me now, so I'll find out what that active ingredient is, because there are probably Americans here that can make use of that. But yeah, there's a dog wormer in America you can use. Leave it with me.
Levamisole is definitely a name I've heard, Zen Ginger.
Yeah, it's not levamisole because I have that here. Fenbendazole is the one.
Yeah, I thought levamisole is ineffective on planaria, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think there's a bit of a trap with fenbendazole where it kills your bacteria, so just watch for ammonia spikes and stuff if you do use it. But I don't know what the active ingredient is in no planaria, but I've used it heaps and it's worked. And it works on hydra and planaria, so it's not a massive waste. I feed a lot of baby brine shrimp, so pretty much hydra and baby brine shrimp go hand in hand if you don't have things that will eat the hydra Active ingredient. No planaria. Might not come up. Might be a secret. Main ingredient of no planaria is betel nut palm extract.
Oh, we got to love a bit of betel nut. Chew on that stuff, you're going for days. Highly addictive.
Yeah, right. Toxic to worm-like organisms, apparently.
That's quite toxic to humans as well if they chew on it every day.
So there you go. That's the stuff. Get yourself some betel nut. A bit for you and a bit for the planaria.
Yeah, just brush your teeth afterwards because that shit's nasty on your teeth. It's like what's that other stuff that people do? Methamphetamines. Yeah, it's like similar effect on your dental structure as methamphetamines.
Oh, jeez.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Did you really have to mention meth on stream? Are you that addicted?
I'm only addicted to betel nut. Oh, and cigarettes. And hot
I'm
sauce.
addicted. Only thing I'm addicted to is iced coffee.
No, that's the sugar you're addicted to, not the coffee.
Yeah, and the caffeine potentially.
Yeah,
Have you had a
it's
look at
fucked.
the side of an iced coffee? Like,
Yeah, 43 grams of sugar.
it's insane.
It's actually ridiculous.
That's nearly 9 teaspoons of sugar in a 500 ml bottle.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I don't know
I've
why I
got a
do
bad
it to
hops
myself.
addiction.
I think you do. I think you do.
I'm hungry.
So there's
I've got a
good
bad hops
potential
addiction.
for a massive
Hops.
stream next week. Massive.
Pardon?
If we manage to crack the 1K, there's potential for a massive stream next week. Because I may or may not need hours. So we could
Oh, I understand.
it could be a big one on the cards. I mean, I'm not opposed to the odd 6-hour Thursday nighter anyway. But we might, yeah, I don't know. Don't want to call it too early, but if we do manage to rustle up 60 people during the week, then we might start early as well. I'll talk to Pam. Maybe we'll see. But there's potential for a big one.
Nice. That's what we like to hear.
As if you're not going to get 60 in a week. You just got like, what, 40 overnight or something?
You don't count your chickens before you hatch, mate. Maybe we found all 941 people in the world that have the tolerance to put up with me.
Well, I'll be announcing the winner of my little competition next week, so
Nice. Should be a big
Should
week.
be next Thursday, so I'll be putting out a little video with the winner. So
Here's me hoping
What was your prize, Matt?
a piece of blue strickia that's about 15 centimeters tall. Not that great a prize, but just a bit of a celebration to reaching 50.
A prize is a prize, no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, well, I'm very appreciative for everyone that's liked and subscribed, so I'm willing to give back to everyone that's done it. So if they watch the video and leave their location, if they're within Australia, they're in the draw.
So are you going to risk the biscuit if it's Western Australia? Or you're not including them?
No, I'm including everywhere in Australia. So if you win, you can get the bit of blue strickia.
Oh, jeez. There are a few members of the Border Patrol that like to watch this stream. So just keep an eye on that package. Greg, Bill, Jeff, you know you're out there.
Dan's discus. I did see the video he did with Gordon Ramsay, where he did the hot sauce into his eyes. So yeah, I haven't actually seen it for retail sale in Australia, but I'd have a go at it. I have a very hot one that I just had on some Y-bone steak before, and it's very tasty indeed.
No worries, Funk.
Why does that
Enjoy
work for you and not me?
your donuts.
You behave with those donuts, Funk. I know what you're capable of.
So I'm actually kind of not looking forward to hitting 1,000 because I've got to fork out for a Nautilus canister filter.
How did you get it?
Current me is really annoyed at past me for saying that I would give away such a big prize.
Mitch, if you are in the States, we were just talking about fenbendazole before, and that's a great cure for camelanus.
Apart from
Thanks,
that
Funk.
as well, Mitch Kruger, if you look up Daniel Keeping Fish on the YouTubes, he has a video about the camelanus worms as well. I think he dealt with treatments in his video. So camelanus worms got in a little bit of trouble with the YouTubes as well because of a few letters in the name camelanus.
Surprised it didn't get flagged or whatever in the comments. Sheep's Aquatics. Same thing. I like it.
Don't worry, Funk. It happens a lot. Oh, the last name is Shepherd, so
Fitting.
I really actually need to order a new tripod. I still haven't ordered one.
You're a shocker. Oh, Mitch.
It's,
Hey, have I run into you somewhere before? Mitch Kruger. I feel like I would
There's
remember.
nothing.
National Park, Zimbabwe.
It's a quality piece.
It may be, Sativa. It may be.
Yeah, sativa nights all over the camelanus.
Hey, I don't think I've ever shown these on YouTube. Have you guys seen these before?
Yeah, you
You're
won an
dining?
auction at PCS.
Yeah.
Sorry, did I take wind out of your sails?
Yeah, a little bit.
No, they're nice. But I just have an encyclopedic knowledge of all of your content on YouTube because I'm such a big fan.
I don't know who drew them. His signature is Amos. He was actually on Lake Malawi, camped up on the side of it, and Matia over here in WA, he got the guy to do some paintings and he brought them back with him. So he did them for free, the paintings for free, and then they got sold at auction, and all the proceeds went to the Stuart Grant Fund for the cichlid preservation.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. I love it. Love a bit of fishery art. Like, I need to, probably not here, but when I eventually move, I'll certainly set up a bit of more of a studio and do a big frame with like all the stickers and all that I've collected and all that stuff. I was gonna head there, Dan, but I didn't in the end. So I'm happy to allow you to do that. When you said it was done by a guy called Anos, I was like, oh, I hate his worms, his camel worms.
Actually, it'd probably be really interesting to dive into the etymology of the word, how they got to that name from the Latin. What the camel and what the anus means in Latin, because I'm assuming it's a Latin word.
I can work this out. And the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, because we're eagerly anticipating your search result.
So I put it on mute so you don't have to listen to me banging and crashing around.
Oh, I really like listening to you fumble around with your Savoys.
I've got to get my pond lights fixed. It's very disappointing at the moment.
You doing a thing?
It's very dark. I just need to get a new spotlight.
I'm going to go with the guess of lumpy bottom.
Oh, is that true?
You can kind of see them. Anyway, let's go. Off to the fish room. I'm going to put the motorbike away.
Good idea.
You guys have distracted me with your live stream.
Not coming up too easy.
Looks like you need some more stickers for that door frame there, Rumble.
So I tell you a story. I've actually got more stickers for the door, but I want to replace the doors, so I don't want to put them on just yet.
Good thinking.
I need to get the cockroach bait back out. Elsa's gone pretty red, showing off. Hey, check this out. It's actually today's video, but some of you probably haven't watched it yet. I can actually turn these lights off now, and then we can look at the fish without the reflection. The rest of the room's dark. I've been meaning to do it for a long, long time, and I've only just done it. So now I can take photos without glare.
Okay, so I found out that camella means goblet, but that's about as good as I get.
Goblet butt.
Yeah, I got nothing. Interesting.
Are we back?
Slightly. Yeah, apologies, Mitch. I'm so bad with names. I'm so terrible. But hopefully I helped you out, or thanks if you helped me out, or whatever we were chatting about plants.
Good to see you hanging out, Mitch.
Lights back on. Where's everyone gone?
We're watching your fish room. Do something. Do a flip. Show us the trick.
I tried to do I can do a flip with the phone.
Try and catch a
Make
fish with
everyone
your hand
see
and have it jump out and then disappear for a few days.
What else is exciting? I don't know. Oh, I got baby guppies. Blake would be proud.
Yeah, the koi tuxedos.
So it actually went the opposite to what I thought. I thought I was going to get red babies first because they looked a lot more mature. But instead, the male's just killing all the red females and the tuxedos are breeding. But
Nice. Yeah, I found the koi tuxedos I have to be real prolific as well. So, I don't know, might be a good little breeder. I've got heaps of them.
I'm not even can say that.
Well, that's a good question, Mitch. I reckon cribs and Bolivians can go together, but yeah, as soon as one of them starts breeding, you're going to want to separate them anyway. So if you want it long term, just a single week. If your intention is to breed, do either one pair or have a second tank ready to rock and roll.
There's certainly going to be more people tell you that you can't do it than you can. So it's, you know, it's worth a go just to prove people wrong. But yeah, they're reasonably incompatible fish, especially during breeding cycles.
Yeah.
The old camera didn't pick that up too well. The stingray was eating out of my hand.
Nice. I still have to remind myself to train mine to do that, but I always forget. And I don't
peacock
always
bass.
feel like sticking my entire arm to the bottom of the tank either, so that's a factor.
Yeah, I can show you. Let's see if we can get camera set up good here. It's a bit harder with pellets. It's easier with meat. Come on.
Right.
I generally hand feed that girl because the sooty grunter steals all the food, and she's pregnant, so it's kind of more of a chore than. Well, it's fun. I enjoy doing it, but yeah, I've got to feed her. Otherwise, she's not going to get her nutrients and she'll miscarriage.
Yeah. Have you still got the grunter up for grabs?
Nah. I put it up for free. I got bombarded with messages, and then basically 3 people were no-shows, so I gave up. So my Nibochromis linny tank actually crashed the other day. It had an ammonia spike, and I've got no idea why. It's probably like the cleanest tank in my whole fish room with like the least bio load out of any tank. And yeah, I don't know what happened, but it's all good now. I got to do a water change on the guppy tanks actually. Do you reckon you need to do water changes when there's that much guppy grass in there?
Oh,
Do
there's
it top up.
a couple of guppies in there too. Yeah, you could just top it up.
We'll give it a go. I've got some sort of algae starting to bloom there. It's like real stringy.
Good old hair algae.
You're doing the same thing that I do, Matt. I watch that many American videos that I started to say algae as well, out of habit.
Yeah. It's algae.
So like whenever I talk about blue-green algae, like the cyanobacteria, because I'm so used to it in the Murray River and all that, I say algae, no worries there. But it's like hair algae, green spot algae.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, big time.
You know, one thing I did, which I forgot to make a video on. Do you remember my Oscar had a hole in the head?
Yeah.
It's gone.
Oh,
Turns out I had hole in the head treatment at my house the whole time for the flower horns. Being a complete noob, I didn't realize that hole in the head was hexema. So I like Googled hole in the head, how to treat, and it said hexema. And then I was like, wait a minute, I got hexema medicine in the shed. And yeah, one treatment. And I also moved them to this end of the pond where it's got the inlet, so it's got more fresh water, and he healed up real quick. So this guy's sold. Who have we got here? Oh, we got Blake and Blake.
You got me hyped here. Because there's so many new people here, I thought I could do a whip around of the fish room, because if you've stuck around this long, you probably might be wondering exactly what I've got if you haven't picked up on that already. So you can have a look. The fish room is a bit of a mess though, fair warning, but
I'll mute mine.
alright. Just trying to make a big screen. You can see my big head. So this here is my my emerald rasboras. You can sort of see him skirting around there. That one's definitely a female because there's no stripes or anything like that. Try and hunt down a male, but there's way too many. There's way too many red root floaters in here. It's so dark, as you can see.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to need some of those.
Yeah, you've got some coming on Monday. So this is the
Uh-oh. Blakey dropped.
Did we lose him?
Looks like it.
yeah accidentally. I was trying to close the chat so I could see what I was pointing at, and the old thing just crashed. So this is my betta sorority. Set this scape up the other day. Got some platinum rice fish in here, and this is where I moved the CO2 out of the Michelin shrimp into here. Down here we've got some German white tuxedo guppy fry. Basically the parents used to be here, dropped a bunch of babies, and I moved them to a better tank, and I just figured I'll just leave all the fry here. They'll be easier to catch down the track. So
Did you say you moved them to a better tank or a better tank?
BETTER. This is where all the Michelins are, but the light does do that, so apologies. I'll have to hold it this far back so we can.
Speaking of Michelin's, Blake, you've inspired me, but I can't say too much because I'm in Western Australia.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
I wonder what you could be talking about.
Considering they're not allowed in Western Australia, it only took one question to actually find them.
And then in here we've got the Saratoga. Oh, that is quite loud rumble.
Hang on, I'm muted.
The Danger Pancake here, the Stingray, the Silver Dollars over here. And there are GF Vegas in there somewhere. Oh yeah, there's one.
Did you just call it Danger Pancake? Are you scared of your Stingray?
Nah, I'm not scared. I just think it's funny. But yeah, if you've never kept a Stingray before, that right there is a Stingray poop. They are massive. But yeah, anyway. In here we've got some Ginga Rubra Endlers. They've started to produce now, which is really cool. Spotted blue eyes, the Pseudomogil Gertrude. That's a pygmy rainbow there. And this nice koi betta. This is the shrimp tank and CPDs. So there's just some black rose cherry shrimp and the CPDs in there. This is what I was talking about the other day with the DIY shrimp hides as well. So you can just silicone those doodads together and make yourself a bit of a DIY shrimp hide. Yeah, sorry, Matt. Just going by the seat of my pants here. Half beaks or micro arowana. The half beaks are just ahead, so got some dragon guppies in here, and the peppermint bristlenose, which you can see the babies have survived quite well. So there's a fair few in here. There's another one up there.
You're going to have a
Bunch of-
fair box of fish to send up to me, aren't you? Those peppermint bristlenose and those other ones I asked about the other day.
Yeah, no dramas. So they're there, and then up here we've just got some common bristlenose and these koi tuxedo guppies as well. So they seem to produce really well with a heap of frog bit up the top. Where are they all? There's a bunch of little fry in here, but the easiest way to find it is just to wait for the lights to go off, and then you can see all the eyeballs when you shine a torch in. In here I've got my pea puffers somewhere. There's one behind that valve there. Another one behind. There's 4 in here somewhere. There's another one there. And there's another one. He just darted around. Anyway, so they're all still. Yeah, it's a fair jungle now, so it was hard to find them all before. It's even harder now, but I just don't really feel like getting in there and maintaining it, really. So happy for it to jungle in. And who knows, one day we might have some
tall, thin
baby
veil, is
puppers.
it?
Yeah, it's half of it's tiger val and half of it is, the Italian val, thin val.
Yeah.
There's just some pearl weed. There's a bit of the light's going to do that thing again, but a snow queen pothos poking out the top. And I do run an ink red on this one here just for that extra level of protection because I don't really want to cook all these pea puffers. There's just some serious stone as well, but you can't really see that anymore either.
I'm going to say, would you say there's 4 in there? That's a good $800.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So in here are the adults of the white tuxedo guppies. One of the males, the tail's a bit jacked up on it, but that's all right. This is the wrestling half beaks too. I got 4 of these platinum wrestling half beaks in here, and they've dropped some more guppy fries in here as well, so that's pretty cool. Since we are talking about dwarf cichlids, this is the algae ridden, but we can see in here we've got Apistogramma Mcmaster in here. That's a young one. That one. This fella's been in a bit of a biff by the looks of it, but there's some more males down there. Oh, actually, I think that one right in front and center is the female, yeah. So maybe they are breeding and decide to have a bit of a bash up of the other ones. Panderers, there's a male Panderer. Don't know, female might be in one of these caves, hopefully. Cacatoides, fry. I sold a whole bunch off a little while ago. I have a little bit of regret about that because I'm going to try and find some new breeders out of here, but there's about 10 or so in here. Hey Gaffer, thanks for joining the stream, appreciate that. And these are the best 2 that I picked out to breed out some more fry, hopefully. So that's obviously the male, female's just up here. Focus. Anyway, and then I have some golden wonder killifish in here, and they've got some babies in here.
Yeah,
So
damn your video on them.
Oh, cool. So there's
They have made me go freaking killifish freaking nuts.
yeah, they're super easy to breed. So
I've got 2 types of killifish turning up next week sometime. Then I have the rainbow pancheks on special order list when they do come available back in Australia again.
Nice. We've got, these are the Apistogramma flyer golds. That's the female there. These guys have had eggs as well, but same situation, panic ate them. And some of Aquamate's endlers here. He's in the chat, so you'll love that little plug, but they're pretty fun. I wasn't actually sure how they would go with the Agra Zzi guys, but they seem to be doing okay. Moving down, we've got some Daisy's rice fish down here, which are a really cool fish as well. They're good outdoor ponder, but I wouldn't keep them there year round because they don't really like the cold as much as their Japanese cousins. I think that's it in there.
acclimates cribs down here as well. So another dwarf cichlid, which is good for the theme. Some platies. I actually just moved a couple in here and then they turned into a bunch more. In here, for some reason, I decided to raise up some more convicts. Don't really know why. And down here, we've got a bunch more angels. So they're going to be hard to see, but they're in between. I was a bit concerned that the Agra Zzi guys might eat the male endless because they were a bit bigger than them, but they haven't seemed to. So at the very least, they don't do it too fast, so they should be able to make more before they disappear. And in here, I heard that Praecox rainbows can colony breed. So I'll just put a pair of dwarf neon rainbows, Praecox rainbows, in here. And we're going to see if they actually don't attack their own eggs and fry. So it's a bit of an experiment I'm running here. There's a bit of an idea of some of these angels. And that's, I forgot about the third tier. We're doing a dry start method in here. Got some terrariums and stuff over here. There's the honey blue eyes in here. And yeah, very reputable breeder. Let's drag the chair over so you can see. Here's my Bloody Mary shrimps in here, which I think colours are coming on quite nicely. Hello, is anyone there? You're throwing me off not saying anything.
I was keeping myself muted because I know how much I annoy you with my loud noises.
Well, I can't see anything, so I was like, am I talking to myself here?
No, I could hear you, unfortunately.
Good. Remind me to kick you when I get back to the computer. So we've got the pygmy cories in here. They're up in the other corner, getting away from me. And they're, where are they? There's a, what are they called? Better rubras in here. In the back there somewhere. And that's pretty much it for the rack there. And then we saw the Saratoga down there. Got a Jack Dempsey and the flower horn. A couple of convicts here. Just, got some discus, Bosmani rainbows. Half of my angelfish from the last batch. And then we got some Nigrans rainbows here, some red rainbows. The other half of the angels, turquoise rainbows. These are their parents, the angelfish parents. And that's the mum there. That one I just showed you was the dad. Couple of little rummy nose. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This tank's had a bit of a rescape, so it's a bit of a dud at the moment. But the new ones on the way. Nice. Colours on those cribs makes me want to breed them, yeah. That's all good, Mitch. And then
It's actually
then here's the reef. Yeah, what's up?
it's actually like quite interesting, like how many fish I own, how many fish you own, and how little of them are actually the same.
Yeah, that's really true. So here's the reef. We just got 2 clowns, 2 coral banded shrimp under there, and I think that's it. Oh, and there's a can't remember what it's called, red firefish in there somewhere, and then just some xenia, green star polyps, bubble coral, hammer, fluffy morphs, I think they're called, and some zoanthids. And that's pretty much
most of the fish room, I think. Ignore the mess on the floor, hopefully. But, yeah. It is a working fish room, so there is usually a mess on the floor. And then outside, I've just got some white clouds and some more of the platinum rice fish.
So I really want to get a few rice fish. I've never really seen them over here for sale.
I don't think they should be like illegal or anything.
I'm kind of a bit over the discus. I can't afford to buy really nice ones, and like the ones I've got are like subpar. You know what I mean? And I don't know if you've noticed, I don't like keeping average quality fish.
That's on you, buddy. That's on you.
Yeah.
I can every time my local fish store gets a fish that he's just going to kill, he usually rings me up and says, "Do you want this?" And I usually take all the rejects. At the moment, one of my discus I've got has only has one eye. He couldn't sell him because he only had one eye.
Oh, that reminds me of that song.
That song, one-eyed something.
No, the drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm. For some reason, I went there. And Aquamate, I believe Mitch Kruger is in Geelong.
G-Town, G-Vegas.
So, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about discus. I don't know. I say they're not great quality. Obviously, like what do you call it? I can't remember the names. This one here still got a lot of growing to do, so it could end up with a nice pattern. I've got a dark background, so I'm always going to get peppering. I think the melon or whatever they're called is decent quality. Like, it's got that real round shape. This is my favorite, the red rose. It's not crazy bright, but like it's the nicest looking one for sure. It's going to go out of the light so you can't see it. And it's been a crazy grower. Like, that discus there was the same size as the Snow White or whatever it's called. And it's huge.
Yeah, I have two of my red Turks that I picked up at the same time, the same size, and the male one is way bigger than the female now, so maybe that one's a male.
Yeah, maybe. Is it a red melon or something? I can't remember which one's which. This one hasn't grown at all. I'm not sure why. And it looks like the neon blue Acara have started ripping out my Ritalis, which is what you said they would do, Blake.
Yeah, there's always a gamble.
They're so pretty.
Good job following the topic as well, picking those up just because it was a Dwarf Cichlid show. But I guess they're a sort of borderline thing, aren't they? They're not exactly dwarfs, I don't think. But
I think neon blues are dwarfs, but blue Acaras aren't dwarf. Is that right?
Well, they would be the same size as those Ivanacara Adokitas that I showed first, so I guess they should be in the same pile anyway. But they're a ripping fish. I used to have one. I loved him. He was great.
And my bristlenose bred in there last week.
Nice.
Which is funny because I can't breed them in a breeding tank, but I can breed them in a display tank.
It's my opinion.
The rocks.
I think bristlenose thrive on a little bit of pressure.
Every time
Yeah, I
I put
think-
my bristle nose into a display tank like that, they always just seem to dig under a rock or something like that and make their own cave. It doesn't matter how many caves you put in; they'll always find their own.
These guys were good. They actually bred in the cave. They followed the rule book, which was good because if they had have tried to breed somewhere else, the Corys probably would have eaten the eggs.
Oh, you got some of those reading those catfish instead.
Aquamate still offloading his cribs in the chat there.
If you want
I
to
still
send them for
haven't
free,
done-
you can send a pair up here.
There you go. You got
still-
another pair offloaded. You'll be needing cribs soon, Josh.
I haven't done anything about the blackbeard algae yet.
Let it
Give a
ride.
juvenile Siamese spider.
Awesome.
Yeah, I tried to get Siamese spiders. Apparently, they're pretty hard to get at the moment. None of the wholesalers have got them.
Siamese fighters, they're easy to get. I'll breed them.
Is it Siamese spiders? I thought it was like Siamese algae eater.
Yeah, it
Siamese
is.
alligator, Siamese fighter, a Siamese fox flyer, all the
Look
same
at
thing.
this. Check out the Acara. What an arsehole. Get off the plants.
He's so bold, he doesn't even care that you're watching. The fact you're watching probably encouraged him to do it.
Oh, hang on. Is he cleaning the rock? No, he's eating the vellus. I hope he realizes that is his sentence to leave this tank. You're out, buddy. You're both doing it together, egging each other on.
Yeah,
Where am I
yeah.
going to put you?
I think they're too small to breed.
And also, I think this display of behaviour is a paramount display of 0 F's given.
Is that what you say about me? Is that you? You take me out of this tank. I'll come get you.
Yeah, I'll bite your face.
There's the red rose in the light.
It's so funny though, fish keeping. Like, you know, when you go on holidays, if you go overseas and you're like, oh, I really enjoyed that place, but I'm not sure if I should go back because there's so many other places in the world. Just looking at these Acaras right now, I'm like, oh, I should get back into the Acara game.
They're fighting. They're having a tiff. Do you know how to sex them?
I'll swap you some Feste babies for babies of them when they breed for you, Rumble.
Yeah, for sure. I actually want to do a little test with some babies, and just do like an Oz. Oh, wait, get out of the plants, you wanker.
You need
Did you
to
see
smack.
that?
Tough love. Get in there and smack him about the chops.
They're coming out for sure, which is a shame because they brighten the tank up. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Obviously, you do airport to airport. It's like $150. I was just gonna try and send you guys something free of charge, just Oz Post, and see how much it costs via Oz Post.
Oh, I'm keen.
Yeah, send me whatever.
We'll see if it survives. I've had a package by a courier take 4 days before, and the fish were fine. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure Oz Post Express Post is less than 4 days.
Yeah, 4 days.
One would
4
hope.
days is a bit of a worry.
Just starve the fish for a week. I reckon they would survive. And somebody actually sent me a link the other day. 40-hour heat packs.
Oh, there's 72-hour ones, isn't there?
Oh wow! You trying to show me up? Hey, what's that? Can you guys see that?
It's amazing what happens when you look in your tanks.
No, I was just saying the inlet is below my eye level, so when you're looking at the tank, you can't see it. Is that Blackbeard?
Yep.
Get out of the way, buddy. But it's
That's
white.
Blackbeard all over it. It's bleached off the lights.
Lights, because it's so close to the light. Some of my favourite of my Blackbeard algae is on the outlets of filters. And people say, increase your flow and you'll reduce your Blackbeard algae. And it's like most of my Blackbeard algae grows on the outlets of my filters.
Yeah, definitely. Couple of
Flow's
things
got
chat
nothing
here.
to do with it.
Trigger trash. I kept them basically from their like 50-cent piece size. So I don't think it's stunting because they're together. I'm just estimating that one's a male because it's grown larger than the female. Like, it's just an anecdote. Rhinos Aquatics. Osprey's took a customer 20 days to get there. Yikes.
But did the customer get there alive though?
I sent a plant 200 kilometers the other day and it took 7 days.
Oh, Ben.
For those that weren't there the first time around, can you go through the path that it took as well?
Oh, did it take a crazy path?
Didn't you go through a list of the towns that it went through before it got to its destination the other day to us?
Oh, no, I don't think that was me, but
Oh, right. Someone else with a crazy postal story has got me confused.
well, no wonder it's going to take so long if they're sending it to Sydney or something first.
Hey, guys. So the bristlenose is on eggs again.
Nice.
So that old chestnut of once they start, they don't stop is quite true because I only took the babies from them 3 days ago.
They should call them Pringles instead of bristlenose. Once they pop, they won't stop.
I do find that putting them in escape is the best bet because you'll never, ever get all the bristlenose out of that tank ever again.
No, I just take the eggs.
Yeah, but all the babies from the last one, aren't they booted out now?
No, I took them out.
Ah.
Yeah, I bet you there's still 3 in the rocks there and the plants and stuff
Yeah,
that you haven't
so.
found. That's the best thing
Hey, I
about
don't
them
know.
is that you always find them 6 months later. Oh, I must have missed that one.
I don't know if these Acaras are fighting or trying to breed. I thought they were fighting, but they're doing it over the top of the rock and they're cleaning the
Zoom
rocks.
in. Can you zoom in?
Can't. I don't think so.
Because this
15
guy's
days.
coming out with his gills flared like he's defending a territory, and she's staying back
Yeah.
and stopping at the territory. You could be right.
I reckon
Just
that's
send me
fair.
those ones. Send me those ones now.
I don't really know how to sex them. Normally, I would look at their fin shape and stuff, but they're so young that I think I can kind of.
They're Acaras, so it's exactly the same process as Rivulatus.
Yeah.
The fin display and the different shape around the cloaca.
See, she's got, or that one looks like it's got rounded fins.
And if they're behaving like this as well, with most cichlids, as soon as these kind of behaviours start, their sexual organs are quite present as well. So if you look closely at the nether regions of these fish, you'll probably be able to determine that they've got different shaped sex bits and stuff.
I also want to make another point. Look, his face has gone black. That, to me, would be a breeding coloration. His face wasn't black a couple of days ago.
Yeah, but that's the one that you think is a girl, isn't it?
No, that's a boy. That's a definite boy, I reckon.
Where's the girl? Oh.
The smaller one, so the smaller one looks like it's got rounded fins. His look quite pointy at the back there.
Geez, I wish your camera had a zoom.
Yeah.
The amount of cichlid spawning behaviour that I've been
look at
filming
that.
in the last week and a half. This is so right up my alley right now. Can't you just put 2 fingers on your screen and spread them apart?
Yeah, I've tried that and it just zooms in on my screen.
Ah, right.
So,
I'm just leaning in so far to try and get as good a view.
I'm
I
trying to
love
think
cichlid
about.
spawning. Who doesn't? Who doesn't love cichlid spawning behaviour? It's
Yeah.
just so wicked to watch. The like I've done hours and hours of footage of my festae in the last week or so, and just the patterns and the communication that they give to each other is phenomenal.
Yeah. I think that's one thing about having so many fish is sometimes you don't see the behavior as much because you don't stop and
The
watch
little
them.
quirks, the quirks of each little one and stuff. Yeah.
I tell you what, who's more aggressive than I thought they would be? The discus. They're like non-stop at each other. I didn't think discus would be aggressive in any way.
I think they're just very full on about establishing a pecking order. Blake's probably
Wow.
more full on discus than I am, though.
Yeah, well, similar to angels, like I find, so to spawn my angels, I pull out the dominant male and the female, and then when I put them back in, the two males, like the dom and the subdom, they fight for ages. Like
Yeah.
really quite aggressive, but because they do have such small mouths, it's really just pecking and stuff. Like you get some fin damage and scale damage and that, but it's not too bad. Xavier wants to know when you're breeding the giant gourami.
It would be a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the giant gourami and your big VAR in like a big display tank, just those two together.
Yeah.
Isn't your VAR's getting quite large, isn't it?
So the one I haven't got one anymore. I gave it to Zach. But well, technically it's still kind of mine, but he's trying to breed it, so
Potentially I was seeing your giant gourami then before.
Yeah. G'day,
Um,
Taters. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you.
Taters and Xavier Rice is here as well. Goodness.
Is that red
great.
moss / algae? That's Blackbeard, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Unless you mean the stuff at the top, which is Rotala hatra.
That's Rotala hatra that the
Isn't
neon
it?
blue Acaras have ripped out of the ground. Look, there's heaps up there. It's actually now my floater.
Every morning, essentially.
And then also
Angels are asshats, says Zen Ginger.
Yeah.
I agree, Zen. I've kept them
Oh,
before.
okay.
My oldest son is wasting his 6x2x2 tank with angels and gouramis. What a waste.
Look like
Oh,
a secret stash
worry,
of red root.
Have a good evening, mate. On the topic of angels / discus, discus takes so long to reach sexual maturity. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Very ugly. Sorry, Bryco.
Yeah, no worries.
How long is so long?
A year?
That's not long. You're used to your little dwarfs that are 6 months, aren't you?
Yeah. Flower horns are what, like longer than that though? But females breed when they're quite small.
Female flower horns can breed at 6 months.
Yeah. Same with discus, but males take the longer time.
A super red dragon male can breed at like 7 months sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
That's the earliest I've heard of. But the count for it is like 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
I hope I breed the neon blue Acaras. I've never bred a dwarf fish.
Abandon the discus project. Just have that as a neon blue Acara tank.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Get rid of every single fish in that tank except for that pair that looks like they're breeding. Let them
Yeah,
go
this
for
guy's got a little pecker hanging out. That's definitely a boy. I can actually see his name. Oh, he's ready. He's raring to go. He's got a little red rocket.
Boner. Fish boner. Yeah, my male jaguar, he's had one for like 2.5 days now. He's got the bluest fish balls ever. And yeah, she's not sticking any of her bits out for him yet.
Rhinos
Feel
Aquatics,
sorry
if you
for
get them
the
at
boy.
the same time, or if you get the catfish earlier, I like a featherfin catfish, Synodontis.
Oh, I could show Rhino my Oscar and
Oh,
its
yeah?
tank mate. Should
Give
I do
out.
that?
Yeah, whenever you're ready, I'll take us off the discus.
I'm not interested in the discus, but I'm definitely interested in those little Acaras having a crack.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of the breeding behaviors of cichlids. They just put on such a show.
Well,
It'd be
yeah,
really interesting to see the like,
cars
parenting
attacking
behavior as
the
well.
discus. That'd be exciting if that's a pair. I could only get 3, so I had huge doubts whether I would actually get a pair out of them or not.
Oh, I thought you had like 6 in there. 3, that's
No.
good. Seems like
So
it's
what
fairly
happened
fair.
is Paul at Molly Graham's got 6 in for me, but you could see that 3 weren't the quality of the other 3, so he was only willing to let me take 3 of them,
Yeah, right.
which is cool. I do like that about Paul at Morley. Like, he gets a fish in for you, and it's not up to his standards. He won't give it to you. Yeah, I'm interested to know. They're doing. At first, I thought they were fighting, but they're not. They're courting. Are you a girl or a boy? I'm not assuming your gender. Everyone's left me.
No, I'm here.
You are, though.
Well, that's a boy. I'll assume all day. But yeah, those black lines to me is breeding dress. It's just like breeding flower horns, only a tenth of the size. I don't know if you can really see it on the camera because they're a bit washed out, but if he turns sideways, he's got a massive black line through his body.
Juvenile electric blue Acaras are cool too because they don't always have the full electric coloring. Like some of them can look really similar to that Adokita, which is like a striping,
Yeah.
which I'd love it if they kept that full term. That'd be way better.
I think if you look at the top of the boy's head, it's actually white. I thought that was pretty cool, whereas the other 2 are black on the top of the head,
Yeah, nice.
or dark blue. Yeah, look at him go. That's a pair for sure. Everybody always says to me, like, how do you sex the young flower horns?
Yeah.
And, like, before they start getting their hump and that. And activity is definitely the biggest giveaway, the way they act.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you see people post like what sexes my fish, I feel like commenting like just watch them for half hour, you'll figure it out. Mind you, I can't say that about a discus. I've got no idea.
Yeah. I think there are some similarities with the bedders. Like I find the same thing with the bedders. It's mostly guesswork based on which ones are doing the bullying and not.
Yeah. when the flower horns are divided, you can tell the males straight away because they'll go up to the divider and try to smash through it to the one next to it, whereas the females will more just like sit in the corner.
Sorry, I didn't realize Blackie was mobile. We're looking at best days by the looks of it on eggs.
I love Festo. Man, I got to get my good camera out and take a photo of this boy. He's all coloured up. Festos are one of those ones, one of the only ones that the female's nicer than the males.
Xavier, I'm going to have two guesses here. I reckon your water is either brown or green. One of those two. Well, Oscar, big girl has had us out for a few days. What's a hybrid? Festes? No, I don't think Festes are a hybrid, are they?
No.
No.
Neon blue Acaras, I don't think are a hybrid either. They're just like a line bred thing, aren't they?
Yes,
I'm pretty sure they're just line bred.
Yeah.
But I did mention flower horns before. Maybe it was relating to that.
Oh, yeah, it could have been. Oscars, eh? They love getting their photo taken.
Yeah, well, was someone before saying about tank mates with an Oscar?
Yeah, that's, yep.
So this tank, there's a large Gibiceps. Oh, sorry about the focus. Large Gibiceps and about 4 or 5 bristlenose successfully existing with this Oscar. Plants, not so much.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you're right, Xavier. I should have guessed red. That Aquilat. Oliver, not substrate.
Wait for it.
If you're not familiar with Aquilat, it's kind of like the ADA ADA Africana.
Are they jacks?
I think, yeah, it's a pair of Jags. I'm not on the screen at the moment, though. Rumble got kicked out. I'll let him back in.
I actually kicked myself out.
Sorry. Serves me right for trying to multitask.
The old lean on the button. That is a pair of Jags earlier.
Yeah, I've got about 10% left of my battery left, so when that's gone, I'll have to go.
You really need to invest in one of them.
Get a bloody battery pack, Chet. Jeez.
It's not the battery pack. It's I've been
Here we
getting.
Go. Here we go.
I'm on my second set of freaking Bluetooth headphones and mic systems, and they fucking won't work. I can't get them to work. So I have to keep going back to my fucking headset, and I can't charge my phone at the same time.
Come on, mate. This is a family-friendly channel here.
Yeah, I'll dull it down a little bit.
Quite a few sharp Fs getting around in there.
Naughty. Check out how red my face is.
Yeah, you're in the
Check it
hydroponic
out.
studio.
I'm of the opinion that you need a palm tree or something behind you to complement that kind of Miami Vice style lighting.
Hey man, welcome to my house.
Cribs with rum.
This is my fish. If only everyone knew the truth about where that light actually came from.
I think people can put 1 and 2 together. See the shirt.
It's retired now, but
I say put 1 and 2 together, not as a mistake, but because it's simpler than putting 2 and 2 together.
Is it really though? I mean, is 3 and 5 putting them together any more difficult than putting 2 and 2 together? Is 1 and 2 any more difficult than either of those?
Yeah.
I think you're overcomplicating things, Blake.
And yeah, that's the quote in all the light videos, Xavier, the old indoor tomatoes. Which was real subtle.
But yeah, be careful indoor with your tomatoes. Your tomatoes can get terrible bugs on them if you grow them inside.
Oh, spider mite, the worst thing in my life.
Oh, goodness me, spider mite.
Spider mite in my fish tanks, I mean.
And grubs.
I have no idea what any of you lot are talking about. Matty D, apparently his kids call you a funny nickname. Rumble.
So do you know what's real funny about that? So many people think I'm a stoner. Like, I got nothing against smoking, but I honestly don't. I don't smoke.
No, I get it all the time as well. It's crazy.
I used to, quite heavily, but the last probably 8 years I haven't. Because these days it just puts me to sleep, out cold, straight away. But yeah, not only on YouTube, I've had so many people oh yeah, you do smoke, right? I'm like, nah, no way, I don't believe you.
And Tater Salad he's on the smoko, but I think he's making a reference to the Australian 15-minute tea break called smoko instead of smoking, maybe. Tater, you may have to confirm with us, Taters, what exactly you're talking about.
I think he means the 15-minute break.
You reckon? 15-minute. I'm having a rest, boss. One of those.
It's about 18 minutes at my work.
Well, you've got to and from, haven't you? You've got to add those in for sure. I've got to walk to where I'm going to have my smoko, and I've got to walk from where I'm going to have my smoko. That's work time, surely.
My worst current tank is Plun area. Yeah. First. Well, on that note, guys, we might wrap it up for the evening. This might be the last time I ever go live.
Why would you do such a thing?
Oh,
We didn't even talk about that stuff yet.
Between the one fan that I'll never get back, the swearing, the indoor tomato chat.
Who swore?
We had some. Shep was swearing. We had some motorbike chat
Bloody
there for a minute.
Oh, Shep. Jeez, Shep. Bloody
So,
Shep.
It's trained to swear.
This might be the last one, guys. But thanks for coming by. Appreciate you all hanging out. And thanks to everyone in the chat. It's always good to see such great goings on in the chat. So appreciate all the support, and who knows, we might catch you next week, we might not.